Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Enjoy the fanfic, and let's begin part 1. A small boy, about 6 years of age, could be seen walking through the streets of Konoha as he came back from playing with a few friends at the playground. The blonde continued to walk as he tried to ignore the many glares that he received from the general populace around him. As the kid walked up to his apartment, as he opened the door to come into the small room that was given to him by his only precious person, his Gigi. The small boy was called Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto was always a hyperactive kid. He could almost find any reason to smile, and yet each smile he gave grew smaller and smaller by the passing day as he continued to be the bane of existence for the people of his village. Naruto gave a small sigh as he took off his clothes and placed them on the bed. Naruto looked at the ground for a second as he gasped when tears came down his eyes. Naruto used his little hand to brush his eyes as he cried. Why can't I make more friends? Why do people hate me? Why does everyone glare at me? All these questions Naruto asked at the empty space. Naruto got no answer, and only silence reigned as he sat on his bed. Naruto sniffed slightly as he closed his eyes to go to sleep after the long day he had. Naruto soon opened his eyes and looked at the bed with only himself in it. Naruto curled into a small ball as he wondered what the warmth of a family was like. Naruto sighed as he wondered where his parents were or if they loved him. Sleep claimed Naruto in no time as he slept in his empty apartment. Oblivious to him, two shinobi came into the room as they looked at the sleeping boy. Both sneered at him as they whispered to each other. Let's hurry up and get this over with. I don't want to stare at this trash anymore, one of them said to the other. I agree. It's time we saved the village and got this demon out of here, the man next to him said. Both nodded to each other as they picked up Naruto and quickly exited the apartment. Both passed the village gates with minimal effort as they dashed into the forest with the problem child of the village in their hands. Both channeled chakra to their feet as they traveled far to get Naruto away from the village. After nearly 3 hours of running, both stopped in the middle of nowhere as they placed the child on the ground. This should be far enough, now let's go. Hopefully this brat will never make it back to the village, the shinobi said to his partner. Both nodded as they left Naruto and vanished as they erased all evidence of their presence from the scene. Naruto continued to sleep peacefully without a care in the world. Next morning, Naruto squinted his eyes slightly as he got them adjusted to the rays of sunlight. Naruto opened his eyes fully as he turned his head fast to see that he wasn't in his room. Naruto looked around again as he saw nothing but trees as far as his eyes could see. Where am I? I don't remember this place. Where is my apartment? Naruto wondered as he slowly rose to his feet. Naruto walked around the mysterious place as he tried to find his way back to his apartment. As Naruto walked, he observed that he was in a different place, for he didn't remember any of the scenery that he was seeing. Naruto continued to walk as his stomach rumbled. Naruto clutched his stomach as he looked around for any source of food. Naruto noticed a big hill across from the tons of trees he saw. Naruto sighed as he trudged on through the forest and walked up the hill. Naruto slowly climbed the hill as he scanned the area. Naruto gasped at the beautiful scenery, but his admiration didn't last long as he saw that his home was nowhere in sight. Naruto frowned as he tried to find any small feature that he could remember, but it was all in vain as he slowly descended the hill. Naruto turned his head to see a small fire coming from a specific place in the forest as a smile came across his face. I guess I can find out if anyone is over there, Naruto said to himself as he walked towards the fire. Naruto smelled something good as his stomach rumbled some more. It took him a few minutes, but Naruto made it to the base of the fire as he peeked through the bushes to see some fish roasting near the fire as his mouth watered at the sight. Naruto scanned the area and saw a woman sitting near the fish waiting for them to roast a bit more before eating. Naruto looked her over as the woman appeared to be in her late teens. Her hair was blonde like his, but much darker than his. She was wearing a short-sleeved black and purple blouse and back pants which seemed to have the design of clouds on them. She also wore purple fingerless gloves on her hands as Naruto moved upward to see what Naruto suspected was a headband on her head. It had the symbol of clouds on it as Naruto continued to observe the woman. She seemed rather nice along with her figure as Naruto found his little eyes staring at the new woman in front of him. Naruto seemed to be at a standstill between coming out and talking to her and staying to just admire her. Unknown to Naruto, He couldn't get the ladder as his stomach grumbled with alerted the woman to his presence in the bushes. Naruto gasped as he saw her take out a kunai and face towards his direction. Come out now, the teen said as Naruto weighed his options. She was obviously a shinobi and running wasn't going to help this situation, he knew for a fact. Naruto decided to pray to Kami that he lived and carefully crawled out as he had a slightly scared expression on his face. Sorry miss. I didn't mean to spy on you. I found your fire and I just wanted to find someone and ask for some help, Naruto told her. The woman's eyes softened at him as she saw he was just a kid. She withdrew her kunai as she walked towards the kid. Why are you all the way out here? She asked him. Naruto's eyes looked down as he shook his head at her question. I don't know. I was asleep in my apartment room last night and when I woke up I was here. I don't know where my home is, Naruto told her. The mysterious woman looked at him with a blank face as she analyzed his story. He was just a kid, so it was plausible that he was telling the truth. The blonde woman smiled as she knelt down. What's your name? She asked him. Naruto looked up at her as he gave her a small smile. I am Naruto Uzumaki. What is your name? Naruto asked her with a smile. The woman chuckled at him as she gave him her own smile. I am Yugito ni. It's nice to meet you, Naruto Uzumaki. Do you know where you are right now? Yugito asked him. Naruto shook his head that he didn't as Yugito pulled out a map and pointed to a specific place for Naruto to see. You're here, at the edge of Yu-no-Kuni, Hot Springs Country, and Hai-no-Kuni, Fire Country, Konoha, Yugito told him. Naruto looked at the map as he pointed to Konoha. That's where I live. I live in Konoha, Yugito-chan, Naruto told her. Yugito chuckled at the affectionate use of her name as she rolled up the scroll. Yugito placed the scroll back into her pouch as she turned to Naruto. Well, I would offer to take you back, but Kumo and Konoha are at each other's throats right now. Me going there might bring our villages to war, one think, Yugito told him. Naruto nodded with a sad smile as Yugito looked at him. A small awkward silence came between them, but stopped as they both heard Naruto's stomach rumble. Naruto blushed with embarrassment while Yugito chuckled. Naruto pouted at her as his blush deepened. It's not funny, Yugito-chan. I'm starving here, Naruto said to her. Yugito's chuckle turned into a laugh as she held her sides. Naruto huffed as Yugito managed to calm down. Sorry Naruto-san, but you just made me laugh. I suppose I could at least give you some food to eat, Yugito said as she turned back to food to see that they were down. Yugito sat on the ground as she motioned for Naruto to sit next to her. Naruto obeyed as he sat next to the blonde woman. Yugito smiled as she gave him a fish to eat. Naruto took the fish as he bit into it and tore some of the roasted flesh off. Naruto smiled as he ate to his heart's content. Yugito took her own fish as both ate in silence. Yugito turned to Naruto and turned serious. Are you going to be alright, Naruto-san? Yugito asked him. Naruto stopped eating for a second as he looked at the ground. I don't know, Yugito-chan. I am happy that you told me where I was, but I don't want to go back to Konoha, Naruto told her. Yugito paused from eating her fish as she turned to Naruto. But why don't you, Naruto-san? Your parents must be worried about you, Yugito told him. Naruto gave a sad smile as he continued to look at the ground. I don't have any parents. I'm an orphan, Naruto told her. Yugito gasped as she nearly dropped her fish. Yugito placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder as she gave a sad expression. I'm sorry, Naruto-san. I didn't know. But why don't you want to go back? Yugito asked him. She didn't want to pry too much, but it was something about him that just made her want to know more. Naruto looked at the ground a little more, but turned to Yugito as he frowned. Everyone in Konoha hates me. I didn't have many friends back there. The people glared at me for some reason that I don't know and they try to hurt me on a daily basis. I don't like it there, Yugito-chan, Naruto told her. Yugito narrowed her eyes as she checked over Naruto's expressions for a lie, but couldn't find any sort of thing as she looked down at her fish. He's just like me, Yugito thought as she turned to Naruto. Yugito poked his shoulder as Naruto looked at her in confusion. He noticed Yugito's smile as he wondered what she was thinking. Well, I can't take you back and you certainly aren't going to make it back yourself. Do you want to come back to my village with me? I just finished my mission so I have the time, Yugito told him. Naruto had a blank face, but smile as tears came down his eyes. Yugito gasped as she felt Naruto crash into her chest. Thank you, Yugito-chan, but are you sure? I don't want to get you in any trouble, Naruto told her. Yugito could only chuckle at his worry over her as she ruffled his soft hair. It'll be fine, Naruto-kun. I'm sure it will, Yugito told him. Naruto smiled with a nod as he squeezed her a little harder. Yugito smiled as she felt a bit of warmth from Naruto's hug. After a few seconds, Naruto let Yugito go as the blonde woman gave him another fish stick to eat, to which Naruto gratefully accepted. Yugito took some water from a nearby pond as she put out the fire. Naruto helped Yugito pack her stuff into her bag as she motioned for Naruto to follow her. Naruto smiled as he grabbed Yugito's hand as they walked back to Yugito's village. Back in Konoha, the Hokage is called a lot of things. They are called the best, the protectors of their village, and the strongest shinobi in the world. They have the most patience and are the most fit to lead anyone. The current Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen, wasn't patient as he paced his floor constantly. After a few minutes, an Anbu came through the door as Sarutobi turned to him. Did you find Naruto-kun? Sarutobi asked in a frantic manner. The Anbu shook his head in a negative as Sarutobi slumped in his chair. The one night he was supposed to visit Naruto and he got called to a meeting. Sarutobi cursed as he resolved to find out whoever did this. Sarutobi motioned for the Anbu to leave as Sarutobi turned to the face of the Yondaime Hokage on the mountain wall. Minato, I'm so sorry. I fear that the village you trusted has ended your son. I can't tell you how sorry I am about myself and this village, Sarutobi said as he waited for people to try and confirm Naruto's appearance. He then looked out the window as he saw people in the streets bustling with a party. He could hear the shouts that people cried such as, "Hooray, the demon is gone," or, "I can finally have a good night's rest without worrying about that thing rampaging around." Sarutobi's heart stiffened as his gaze descended on the people of Konoha. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun. I've failed you, Sarutobi said as he flashed a key when he exited the building to stop the damn party that the civilians were having. With Naruto and Yugito, both of them continued to walk out of no Kuni as Yugito pulled out her map again. Naruto turned to her as he noticed the air getting colder. Yugito-chan, why is it so cold all of a sudden? Naruto asked her. Yugito chuckled as she gave some warm clothes to Naruto for his comfort. We have left no Kuni, Naruto-san. We are now in Shimo no Kuni, Frost Country, Yugito told him. Naruto nodded with a smile as he gripped Yugito's hand a bit more. Naruto smiled as he found a true friend in Yugito as she seemed like a really nice woman. Yugito turned her head to see Naruto's smile and gave a confused chuckle. What are you so happy about, Naruto-san? Yugito asked him. Naruto turned to her with his smile still stretched as he gave a foxy grin. You're the first real friend I had, Yugito-chan. I had other friends back in Konoha, but I could tell that they were slightly afraid of me. I simply wanted friends, so I ignored it. You're the first person that's been genuinely nice to me besides my Gigi and a few others, Naruto told her. Yugito gave a slight blush from the praise as she slightly scratched her cheek. Think nothing of it, Naruto-san, Yugito told him. Naruto nodded with a smile as Yugito decided to pique her curiosity some more. Yugito wasn't sure, but if what Naruto told her was true about his village, then it had to be possible. Naruto-san, do you know about the Kyuubi? Yugito asked him. Naruto nodded as Yugito raised an eyebrow. People said that it attacked Konoha, but was killed by the Yondaime, thus saving the village. Why do you ask, Yugito-chan? Naruto wondered as Yugito broke her gaze with Naruto. Nothing really, Naruto-kun. Just wanted to know, Yugito told him, surprising him at the change in his name. Naruto nodded slowly before looked back at the snow-covered areas as the duo continued to walk. Yugito was busy mumbling something to herself as both stopped at a vacant shack. I suppose we can stop here for the day, Naruto-kun, Yugito told him. Naruto nodded with a smile as he turned to Yugito. Yugito unpacked a sleeping bag. She gestured for Naruto to get inside. Naruto stopped for a second and turned to Yugito. Yugito looked up to see Naruto with a small blush on his face as she chuckled. Come on, Naruto-san, you'll catch cold if you don't, Yugito said to him. Naruto stuttered slightly, but nodded as he calmly stepped into the sleeping bag. Naruto turned to see Yugito get in also as she gave him a hug. Naruto's blush deepened as Yugito fell asleep. It's best to converse body heat Naruto-kun, Yugito told him in a sleepy voice. Naruto slowly nodded as he tried to go to sleep, but for all his life couldn't. Due to the close contact, Naruto smelled something nice as he noticed that it originated from Yugito. She smells nice, Naruto thought as the sleep overcame him. Naruto and Yugito went to sleep as they dreamed about the next day. Next morning, Yugito woke up slowly as she gave a soft yawn. Yugito looked outside to see that it was still snowing, but not as heavily. Due to the clouds, Yugito didn't know what time of day it was as she turned to Naruto. Yugito gave a soft smile and moved her hand to motion for Naruto, but stopped as she heard him mumble. Don't look at me like that. Why do you hate me? You're talking about Kyuubi. What does it have to do with me? Naruto said in his dreams as Yugito narrowed her eyes. Yugito frowned at the dream as she shook Naruto awake. Naruto's eyes shot open as he turned to his new friend looking at him. Oh Yugito-chan. Good morning, Naruto said to her. Yugito gave an innocent smile as she wiped off a few tears that trailed Naruto's face. You were crying Naruto-kun. Are you okay? Yugito asked him. Naruto smiled with a slow nod as he rose to his feet. I'm fine Yugito-chan. I had a bad dream is all, Naruto told her. Yugito seemed satisfied with his answer as she rolled up the sleeping bag. Naruto helped her as both set out, leaving the vacant shack behind. As both walked, Naruto decided to know more about his new friend as he turned his head to her. So Yugito-chan, what is Kumo like? Naruto asked her. Yugito turned to him and chuckled as she thought over his question. Well Naruto-kun. In a word I would say, decent. The shinobi there are strict, but most of the people are nice I guess, Yugito said to him. Naruto nodded with a smile on his face as he looked at her headband. So you're a shinobi? Naruto asked her. Yugito nodded as she pointed to her headband. That's right Naruto-kun. It's a lot of hard work, but you learn a lot of things, Yugito said to him. Naruto smirked as he stole multiple glances at Yugito's headband. Do you think I could become one also? Naruto asked her. Yugito turned to him and gave a small smile. What makes you think that you can become a shinobi? Yugito asked him with a slight tease in her voice. Naruto pouted as kicked the snow. I can become a shinobi. I can become the strongest in all the nations, Naruto told her. Yugito stopped walking for a second as she held her sides in a full-blown laugh. Naruto quirked up an eyebrow at her as Yugito dropped to her knees on the snow. A shrimp like you. Now that's a funny joke Naruto-kun, Yugito said as she laughed. Naruto pouted again as he picked up a handful of snow and formed it into a ball. Naruto smirked as he threw the ball at Yugito, effectively covering her entire face in snow. Naruto chuckled as Yugito stopped laughing. Now that's funny Yugito-chan, Naruto said to her. Yugito narrowed her eyes with a gleam in one of them as she picked up the snow also. So, Naruto-kun likes to play games huh? Yugito said as she threw the snow at Naruto. Naruto managed to dodge the snowball as he picked up his own and threw it at Yugito. Yugito laughed along with Naruto as the two went into a good old-fashioned snowball fight that lasted a few minutes. Naruto huffed while Yugito grabbed his hand again. Then become the strongest Naruto-kun. I'll become the strongest kunoichi, Yugito said to him. Naruto nodded as he smiled. The strongest kunoichi should stand along with the strongest male shinobi, Naruto told her. Yugito blushed as she wondered what Naruto could have meant by that. Naruto noticed her blush as he his head to the side in confusion. Naruto was simply talking about being friends or rivals. It wasn't a reason to get embarrassed. Naruto decided to let it go as both continued their trek to Kumogakure. 2 days later. Naruto and Yugito came up to the village as Naruto gasped at the giant gates that held the village inside. Both passed through as Yugito flashed her identification to the gate guards. Naruto looked in awe at the village as he saw all the buildings and structures inside. Yugito chuckled at his happiness as she took his hand as walked him through Kumo. Well Naruto-kun, let's go meet with Raikage-sama. I'm sure he'll want to meet you, Yugito told him. Naruto nodded to her as both walked towards the Raikage mansion. Naruto looked over everything as he wondered where Yugito lived. After walking, both came up to the mansion and entered as Yugito made it to the top floor. Yugito knocked on the door as she waited for her presence to be known. "Come in," the person yelled as Yugito entered. Yugito gave a slight bow as she entered. Naruto noticed of the man along with someone next to him that he assumed was the Raikage's brother. "Mission accomplished, Raikage-sama," Yugito told him. Raikage nodded with a slight smile as he saw someone behind Yugito. Yugito smiled as she stepped aside to show Naruto in front of the man. Naruto saw that the man was big. He was dark-skinned and had blonde dreads across his head. He had massive muscles as he didn't wear a shirt. He had on dark blue pants and seemed to wear golden wristbands on his arms. Naruto gave a bow to him as he tried his best to smile. Hello sir. I am Naruto Uzumaki," Naruto said to him. Raikage nodded as he turned to Yugito for an explanation. Yugito began to long explanation as she told Raikage how she met Naruto and how he told her about Konoha. Raikage narrowed his eyes at all the new information as from what Yugito told him, Naruto must have been the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. Raikage nodded as Yugito managed to finish. "So Naruto, you're from Konoha, huh?" Raikage asked him. Naruto immediately nodded as he wondered what the problem was. Raikage muttered to himself for a second, but gave a small chuckle as he looked at Naruto. "So that's why you don't want to go back?" he told the blonde boy. Naruto nodded with a small frown as Raikage turned to Yugito with a small smile. "Well, Yugito ni, you found him and you're going to watch him. He said he's going to be the strongest shinobi, right?" he asked, to which Yugito chuckled, but nodded nonetheless. Raikage turned to the kid as Naruto stood up straight. "Well, Kurabi will train him to be a good shinobi," Raikage said to him. Yugito nodded with a bow as Naruto turned to the man next to the Raikage. Naruto smiled as he saw the man walk up to him. "Hey yo kid, I see you hanging with Yugi-chan. You an alright boy. Eight's gonna teach ya. Real good. Be prepared foe. Da famous B-Sama's training," Kurabi rapped as Naruto, Yugito, and Raikage sweat dropped. Yugito leaned next to Naruto and smiled. "You'll get used to him in no time, Naruto-kun," Yugito told him. Naruto nodded to her while he turned to see Kurabi with his fist out. Naruto looked at it confused, but put up his own as he bumped fists with Kurabi. "You a good kid. I look forward to trainin' you. Be prepared for me, oh yeah," Kurabi said to him. Naruto chuckled with a nod as he and Yugito turned to leave along with Kurabi, leaving Raikage in the room. "It seems that the kid will get stronger. I have say that Konoha is quite sad for doing such a thing to the boy. Oh well, it's past. This village is going to get more interesting," Raikage said as he continued to do his paperwork. With Yugito, Naruto, and Kurabi, all three exited the office as they came back to the village district. Yugito continued to hold Naruto's hand while Kurabi walked along with them. Yugito turned to Naruto and smiled. "Want me to show you around the village, Naruto-kun?" Yugito asked him. Naruto nodded with a smile as he ran a bit ahead. Kurabi smirked as Yugito turned to him. "What's so funny?" she asked him. Kurabi soon made a beat as Yugito sighed. "I see Miss Two Tails getting close to Little Nine. I feel the sparks coming up from you too. Two Tails got a thing for Lil Nine," Kurabi said to her. Yugito blushed with a stutter as she huffed, much to Kurabi's entertainment. Both turned back to see Naruto waving at them as they walked up to him to show the blonde around the village for his first time. Naruto continued to walk into the village as Kurabi and Yugito followed after him. Naruto had a never-ending smile on his face as he looked over the place. Yugito walked a bit faster to catch up with Naruto along with Kurabi. Yugito, having caught up to Naruto, stopped him for a minute as Naruto turned around to face her. Yugito gave him a soft smile as Kurabi managed to catch up to the two. "Well, Naruto-kun, do you want to go home first or pick up your stuff for your training?" Yugito asked him. Naruto gave her a foxy grin as he shrugged his shoulders. "I don't really mind what we do first, Yugito-chan. I'm not tired if that's what you're wondering. Can we get my stuff first?" Naruto asked her. Yugito nodded with a chuckle as she, Naruto, and Kurabi walked towards a weapons shop. Kurabi turned his head to the right and smiled as he pointed to a weapons. "Hey yo Gaki. Dat place right here is da perfect place for you. Trust in da famous B-Sama's instincts," Kurabi rapped as Naruto and Yugito turned to the shop. Naruto's interest sparkled as he ran into the store as Yugito and Kurabi followed. Naruto opened the door as he heard the bell ring signifying his presence along with his two new friends as he looked around the shop. Naruto stared in awe of everything as he wondered what he should get for his training. Naruto looked around as his eyes stopped on a few kunai and shuriken packs. Yugito and Kurabi stayed near the door as they wanted to see how Naruto shopped and if he would need their help with anything. Naruto, having spent most of his days running from the villagers and their tantrums about him, knew about the type of weapons which were good to use. Naruto picked up 6 standard kunai and shuriken sets and took them to the counter for purchase. Yugito turned to the cashier and smiled as she pulled out her wallet. "How much for all this stuff?" Yugito asked the man. Naruto was expecting to be turned away, but surprisingly he wasn't as the cashier went through everything and added the total. "For all this it's 770 yen and 30 sen, the man said to her. Yugito nodded as she took out the required amount of money and paid the man. Naruto looked around the place a bit more as Kurabi came up to him. "Hey kid, you gonna be my student? We gonna have get you 2 cool swords for da trainin'," B told him. Naruto chuckled with a nod as B looked around the store for a sword for Naruto. B stopped at a katana and gave a big grin as he took the sword. "Yo kid, check this piece of steel out. What do you think?" B said to Naruto. Naruto noticed the sword as he pulled it out of the sheath and gasped at the steel. It was pure white and rather long and heavy, but Naruto felt that he could hold it firmly in his hand without too much trouble. B nodded while he turned to the next sword. B took the second sword and inspected it as he looked at the one Naruto was holding. B nodded as he gave a thumbs up to Naruto. Naruto smiled as he took the sword from B and looked it over. Naruto, being a bit simple-minded due to his age, could only hop up and down with excitement around the store. Yugito motioned for Naruto to put the swords on the counter as the man rang up the price for the 2 weapons as Yugito got ready to pay, but was stopped by B. "Whoa there Yugi-chan. I'll take care of these 2 swords. The boy and I gonna have a real fun time with these," B told her. Yugito gave B a blank look, but nodded as she backed away. B walked up to the man and took out some money. "What's da price for these swords baby?" B asked as the store owner's sweat dropped. "The cost is 26,960 yen and 50 sen, the man said to B. B gasped as he stepped back and placed his hand over his heart. "The people are ruthless. They gonna bleed me dry. I can't take much more of this," B said as Yugito face-palmed herself. Naruto chuckled at his antics as B paid for the swords. Naruto, Yugito, and B collected everything and walked to Yugito's house, which wasn't very far. Yugito's house. Everyone arrived at Yugito's house as Naruto took in its features. The house wasn't small, but it wasn't big either. It looked rather quaint for a living space. The house had a bunch of slid-in doors as Yugito opened the front door for Naruto and B. Naruto came into the house as he took off some shoes along with B. Yugito took them to the living room as everyone set Naruto's things on the couch. Everyone sat in the room a bit as B and Yugito glanced at Naruto for a few minutes. Naruto, feeling their stares, turned to each of them and made a blank face as he wondered why they were staring. "What's wrong?" Naruto asked them. Yugito and B turned to each other and nodded as Yugito sat a bit closer to Naruto and placed her hand on his shoulder. "Naruto-kun, do you remember when you told me how you were treated back in Konoha?" Yugito told him. Naruto nodded as he wondered where this was going, but didn't think too hard about it. B narrowed his eyes behind his glasses as a frown became visible on his face. Yugito decided to continue as she braced Naruto for their news. "Naruto-kun, we think you are one of the containers of a biju," Yugito told him. Naruto raised an eyebrow at the new word and gave a confused look. "What's a biju?" Naruto asked her. Yugito turned to B as he had the most experience in things like that as B stood up. A biju is also known as a tailed beast. They are literally large amounts of chakra that are given a human form. People tend to fear them for their power and all are placed inside a host, or as people call them, Jinchuriki. B finished as Naruto took the words in. Naruto was finally beginning to understand. The glares, the hunts, and the constant neglect. All if it was beginning to make sense as Naruto looked down at the floor. "So I'm a Jinchuriki?" Naruto asked them. Yugito and B nodded as they knew Naruto had to hear this. Naruto nearly cried as Yugito took him into a hug. "But you aren't a demon, Naruto-kun. Don't let anyone tell you any different, Yugito told him. Naruto stayed silent for a few minutes as B and Yugito wondered if they should have told him this early. Naruto looked back up at them and gave them a small reassuring smile that he was okay to continue with the conversation. B and Yugito took the suggestion as Naruto decided to ask a question. So how many Biju are there? And which one do I have? Naruto asked them. Yugito and B glanced at each other and nodded as they turned back to Naruto. There are a total of 9 Biju in the world. I would have to figure that you have the Kyuubi, B told him. Naruto raised an eyebrow at him as he wondered about it. So does that mean I have the strongest Biju in terms of the number of tails? Naruto asked them with a little excitement in his voice. Yugito and B chuckled as they wondered if they were worried for nothing. Yeah, Naruto-kun, you have the strongest Biju. I'm actually surprised it didn't overtake you, Yugito told him. Naruto shuddered at the feeling of being overtaken by someone, but dismissed the thought as he turned back to B and Yugito. So how do you two know so much about the Biju? Naruto asked them. B and Yugito smirked as B pointed to himself. Please Gaki, you lookin' at the famous Jinchuriki of Dahachibi, B told him. Naruto gasped as he turned to Yugito. Yugito chuckled as she pointed to herself also. I'm the Jinchuriki of the Nibi, Yugito told him. Naruto gasped a bit wider as both Jinchuriki chuckled at his reaction. Why you're both Jinchuriki? Naruto asked them, still in slight wonder of them. Both nodded with smiles on their faces as Naruto stood up. Can you talk to your Biju? Naruto asked them. Both sent him a blank look before bursting out in laughter. Naruto blushed in slight embarrassment as he wondered if he said something wrong. Both calmed down soon enough as Yugito decided to answer Naruto's question. Yes, we can, Naruto-kun. It's one of the many things Jinchuriki can do along with accessing their respective Biju's chakra. We have to train to use it effectively, Yugito told him. Naruto nodded in understanding as he sat on the floor. Can I talk to mine? Naruto asked with the word excited written over his face. Yugito's sweat dropped while B gave a thumbs up to Naruto as he sat down also. Sure kid. Just sat down right there and focus for a few seconds. You will know where you are soon enough, B told him. Naruto nodded with a smile as he sat in a meditative pose and concentrated for a few minutes. Naruto opened his eyes as he stared at the sewer-like structure that was his mind. Naruto walked around for a while as he came up to some giant gates as his eyes zoomed in a small piece of paper that said, Seal. Naruto walked up to the gates, but couldn't see anyone as he decided to be a little reckless and walked past the gates. Naruto walked deeper past the gates until he turned his head fast. Naruto looked around, but saw no one as he continued deeper. Naruto couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched as he stopped for a second and looked at the water. Naruto gasped softly as he saw a tall figure behind him. Naruto moved his eyes to the side as he saw the figure give a smile as she placed her hand on his shoulder. Naruto gasped as he turned around fast and accidentally dropped in the water as he stared at a red-haired woman. The woman had a blank look on her face, but chuckled then laughed as she held her sides. Naruto huffed as he glared at her, which only served to make her smile more. Naruto smirked as he got up and splashed some of the water at her. Said woman stopped laughing as she looked at her wet clothes. The woman glared at Naruto, but stopped as she saw his smile. The woman softly chuckled and began to wring out her wet hair. Naruto sat down as he looked up at her. I'm sorry for that. I couldn't help myself, Naruto told her. The woman turned to him and chuckled again as she sat down across from him. It's all right, I guess. I love a good joke, she told him. Naruto nodded as he smiled at her. So who are you? Naruto asked her. Said woman scratched the side of her cheek and gave a small grin. I'm Kyuubi. I'm your Biju, Naruto-kun, Kyuubi told him. Naruto widened his eyes as he stared at the hot-looking woman in front of him. Naruto was totally surprised. To him, Kyuubi seemed like the nicest person aside from Yugito-chan and Kurabi. Kyuubi chuckled as she stood up, deciding to answer Naruto's unspoken question. I'm in my human form. I don't use the giant fox form that most people see me as often as I should, Kyuubi responded, bringing Naruto out of his daze. Naruto absently nodded as he steadily rose to his feet also. How do people call you, scary or demon? You seem so nice, Naruto told her. Kyuubi hid a small blush that Naruto missed as she shrugged her shoulders. I know. It's like people haven't seen a giant foe with 9 tails before, Kyuubi said with a pout. Naruto broke out into a laugh as he wondered if having a Biju was this exciting for Yugito and B. They probably haven't, Kyuubi-chan. Don't you think people would be scared of a giant fox with 9 tails? Naruto asked her. Kyuubi stopped her pout, but crossed her arms and closed her eyes as she nodded. Well, it's not my fault that people are cowards. I'm generally peaceful. I'm the type of person if left alone will leave others alone. You're the only person not to be afraid of me, Kyuubi told him. Naruto's sweat dropped as he scratched his cheek. Well, you didn't show up as a giant fox, so I think that had something to do with it, Naruto told her. Kyuubi widened her eyes slightly and nodded as both she and Naruto sat back down to have a small conversation. So to what do I owe the pleasure of seeing my landlord? Kyuubi asked him. Naruto smirked as he rubbed the back of his head. I came to see if I could talk to you like Yugito-chan and B. They told me that it wasn't hard to do and I just came here to see you. I wanted to know if you wanted to be friends or at least acquaintances, Naruto told her. Kyuubi her head to the side as she raised an eyebrow. You want to be friends with the main cause for your former village's hatred of you? Kyuubi asked him. Naruto's smile faltered a bit, but came back fast as Naruto crashed into her, giving her a hug. Kyuubi gasped as this was the last thing she expected from him as Naruto decided to speak. From how you were earlier, I can only wonder if you did it on purpose or accidentally, Naruto told her. Kyuubi chuckled as Naruto let go and stepped back. Naruto reached out his hand and allowed Kyuubi to stand. Kyuubi raised an eyebrow again at his kindness. Seeing his smile, Kyuubi nearly lost her mind as she took a deep breath and let her feelings go. Why don't you hate me? I more than half expected you to shout at me when I told you my name. How are you not mad that I made your life miserable? Kyuubi nearly shouted, causing Naruto's smile to fade as he looked at the ground. Kyuubi gasped as she slightly covered her mouth and looked at Naruto. Kyuubi frowned as Naruto continued to look at the ground. Naruto-kun, Kyuubi said, wondering if she did something wrong. Naruto's eyes slowly came back up as he showed a bright determination in them. Kyuubi was taken aback by the fire in his eyes as Naruto gave her his best smile. I can't say for sure if you're at fault or not, Kyuubi-chan, but I highly doubt you're evil. If you were evil, you wouldn't have been such good company. I'm sure you and I can be friends, Naruto told her. Kyuubi widened her eyes as Naruto stuck out his hand at her. Well, Kyuubi-chan, will you help me become a great shinobi along with Yugito-chan? Naruto asked her. Kyuubi seemed too stunned to answer, but slowly brought out her hand as she shook Naruto's hand. Naruto gave her his trademark smile as Kyuubi gave him a soft smile. Naruto soon got a gleam in his eye which made Kyuubi shudder slightly as Naruto sat back down. Alright, Kyuubi-chan, let's talk terms of agreement, Naruto told her. Kyuubi dropped her jaw slightly at his new behavior, but chuckled with a nod soon enough as she sat down. Outside the mindscape, Yugito and B continued to watch Naruto as they wondered what was going on inside his mind. Yugito almost grew slightly concerned as B reassured her that Naruto would be fine. Yugito sighed as they continued to watch Naruto as said blonde opened his eyes. As Naruto opened his eyes, he met the intense gazes of Yugito and B on him as they wanted to know what happened with Naruto and Kyuubi. Naruto smiled as a way of taunting them, which worked really well on Yugito as she tapped her arm repeatedly waiting for Naruto's answer. So kid, how did it go? Hanging with Kyuubi? B asked him. Naruto smiled as he decided to answer B's question and Yugito's unspoken questions. It went very well. She's quite nice and really cute. She's not at all mean like people say she is. If anything, she's quite the prankster, Naruto told them. Yugito and B raised a few curious eyebrows at his word as they wondered what the two talked about. Naruto took a small breath as he continued. She said we could be friends and we even struck a deal with each other, Naruto told them. And what kind of deal was that? Yugito asked with a slight worry for Naruto in her voice. Naruto chuckled as he turned to Yugito to answer her question. We struck a deal that allows me to currently use 2 tails of her chakra since I would have to wait to control the others. In that exchange, she gets access to my senses, but I can cut her off if I want to. We also stay in telepathic contact for our own special purposes, Naruto told them. B and Yugito nodded in understanding as Yugito sighed. What's wrong, Yugito-chan? Naruto asked her as B turned to her also. Yugito looked from Naruto to B and back as she shrugged her shoulders. I'm jealous, Naruto-kun. Kyuubi sounds very reasonable for a Biju. At least your Biju doesn't have a perverted mind, Yugito said as Naruto and B raised their eyebrows at her. That's mean, kitten. I'm not perverted. Much. However, little Naruto is so cute. Can I have him, kitten? Nibi asked her as Yugito forced back a blush from coming to her face. Yugito sighed again as she decided to take to her tenant. Nibi, why are you always like this? You are perverted. Ever since I met Naruto-kun, you've been assaulting me with questions of why I don't claim him for a mate. How wrong are you, Nibi? Yugito asked in thought as Nibi chuckled in her cage. It's not my fault that little Naruto-kun's got that fire in his eyes that would just make any woman. Don't you dare finish that sentence, Nibi. Yugito yelled out in thought as Nibi laughed in her cage. Maybe you should stop focusing on me and look back to Naruto-kun and B, cause to them you've been making weird faces for a while now, Nibi told her. Yugito snapped out of her connection to Nibi as she did indeed see Naruto and B looking at her like she had gone insane with her emotions that ranged from blushing to slight irritation. Yugito blushed from the embarrassment as she slowly opened her mouth. What are you two looking at? B, shouldn't you start training Naruto-kun? You should go do that, Yugito said fast as she ran out the living room. Naruto's sweat dropped along with B as said man stood to his feet. She's right, Lil 9. No time to be sitting around. Let's go out back and I will begin your training, B told him. Naruto nodded as B gave him a change of clothes as Naruto grabbed all of his equipment and ran out back with B to begin his training. With Yugito. Yugito ran up to her room and closed the door as she tried to calm the blush from the embarrassing scene she just had. While she tried to get her blush down, Yugito could only narrow her eyes as she heard Nibi laughing as she rolled around in her cage. Yugito sighed as she wondered why she had to endure the most pervert-minded Biju out of all the 9. With B and Naruto. B and Naruto stood in the back of the house as Naruto waited for B's training. Naruto placed all his weapons in a pouch, but left his swords in the house as he wasn't ready to use those just yet. B smirked as his new student. Alright, Lil 9. We gonna start you off on some endurance training. You ain't got the body, you ain't gonna get the control. Start doing some push-ups and sit-ups and laps around the house until I stop you, B told him. Naruto nodded with a smile as he started doing his push-ups just like B ordered. B nodded as he left Naruto outside and went inside the house. B sat on the couch and sighed as he decided to talk to his Biju. So you have hopes for that kid? The Hachibi asked his partner. B smirked as he laid on the Hachibi's forehead. He's a good kid. He'll go far. I'm sure of it. He's even got Miss Kyuubi on his side, B said as Hachibi made a low grumble. She always did have weird interests when it came to guys. She's just like Nibi, Hachibi said as B began to rap, much to his tenant's annoyance. Hey yo, both Kyuubi and Nibi got a thing for Lil 9. Little 9 is quite the man for a boy. Dat kid knows how to do his thing without even knowing it, B rapped as Hachibi's sweat dropped at his actions. Remind me why we're partners again. I'm sure I must have been insane at the time, Hachibi said to B. B gasped as he fell back on Hachibi's head. Oh, my heart's a bleedin'. My partner is a cold-hearted octo-bull, B rapped again as Hachibi wondered how he could kill B without himself dying to relieve himself of his partner's rapping. Later that day, Naruto huffed as he dropped to the ground in exhaustion of his efforts as he felt the burning of his arms and legs from the stamina training. B came out of the house and clapped as Naruto glared at the man. Good job, Lil 9. You got some impressive stamina there. That's all for today. You lasted longer than I thought you would, B told him. Naruto sighed as he dropped to the ground with a smile on his face as B plopped the boy on his shoulder and walked into the house. By this time, Yugito was out of her room as she saw the exhausted Naruto on B's shoulder. You sure made him endure that stamina training, Yugito said as B put Naruto on the couch. B turned to Yugito and smirked as he threw his hands out. Da kid's tough, Yugi-chan. I've never seen so much energy in one kid since you. He's going to be interesting, B said as Yugito rolled her eyes at his rapping, never seeing the purpose to it, but didn't say anything. Yugito looked at Naruto's sleeping face. Yugito gave a small smile which didn't go unnoticed by B as the man smiled. Wanna kiss his cheek, Yugi-chan? B asked as Yugito gave a small blush as she stuttered at his question. Shut it, B. I'm not like that, Yugito said as she stormed off into the kitchen to make Naruto something to eat for when he woke up. B chuckled as he, just like Nibi, wasn't going to let this go so easily. For both it was always rare to see a flustered Yugito as she was never interesting in any type of guy. Neither B nor Nibi were going to let her live without doing this on a daily basis. They both just found a good source for entertainment. Nighttime. Naruto squinted his eyes as he opened them to see he was on the couch in the living room. Naruto struggled to get up, but for all his life couldn't as the pain in his arms and legs weighed him down. Kyuubi decided to speak as she heard Naruto struggle. You know the saying Naruto-kun. No pain no gain, Kyuubi told him. Naruto chuckled as he withstood the pain from his chuckle as he decided to respond to Kyuubi in her remark. Whoever said that obviously had a few problems in the head, Naruto replied. Kyuubi stifled a laugh as her jailer, but nodded in agreement as Naruto turned to see Yugito coming downstairs to see him awake. Oh Naruto-kun, you're up. Well, I made you some dinner so let's go eat, Yugito told him. At the sound of the word, food, Naruto forgot the pain and moved past the kitchen as Yugito saw only a yellow blur run past her. Yugito turned her head to the kitchen to see Naruto waiting for her as she entered the room. Yugito prepared a plate for Naruto while Naruto took out the chair for Yugito. Yugito accepted the gesture of gentlemanliness as she sat down in the chair. Naruto sat in his own seat as both said grace and dug into the food. Naruto gasped as he gave a wide smile as Yugito looked at his reaction. How is it? Yugito asked him. Naruto smiled with a quick nod of approval. It's amazing, Yugito-chan. You're a good cook. I love it, Naruto told her. Yugito chuckled with a nod as she ate her food also. Naruto looked around the room, then turned back to Yugito. Where is B-san? Naruto asked her. Yugito swallowed her food as she decided to answer Naruto's question. He left a while ago. He said he would come tomorrow for more of your training. I'll be helping tomorrow also, so it'll be a bit tougher for you, Yugito told him with a playful voice. Naruto groaned as he wondered how he got such a fate. He also said he would bring you some clothes tomorrow since we didn't get you any today, Yugito told him. Naruto nodded as he finished his food along with Yugito as Naruto looked around while Yugito grabbed a glass of milk. Where do I sleep, Yugito-chan? Naruto asked her. Yugito smiled as she took him to the extra room she had while drinking her glass of milk. Yugito opened the door as Naruto came inside. This is your room, Naruto-kun. Use it well. You can bring your stuff in later. For now, you should get some sleep for tomorrow, Yugito told him. Naruto nodded in agreement as Yugito closed the door. See you tomorrow, Yugito-chan, Naruto told her. Yugito smiled with a nod as she left. Naruto glanced over his room as he took off the clothes that B gave him. Naruto stayed in his t-shirt and boxers as he climbed into bed. Well, this was an interesting day, Naruto said as he heard the soft voice of his tenant. I'll say it was. I got to meet my jailer and he is quite the good guy. I'm glad I made a deal with him, Kyuubi said as Naruto nodded. I'm glad also, Kyuubi-chan. Well, I have to go to sleep. Talk to you tomorrow. Good night, Naruto said to her. Kyuubi nodded as she spoke before breaking the connection. Good night, Naruto-kun. Talk to you tomorrow or I'll assault your dreams with certain images, Kyuubi said with a smirk. Naruto shuddered slightly as he opened his eyes fast. You wouldn't dare, Naruto said as Kyuubi scoffed. Try me, Naruto-kun, Kyuubi told him. Naruto cursed as he closed his eyes and turned off the lights knowing that he was going to be tired tomorrow morning. Back in Konoha, people still seemed to be celebrating the fact that the hated Kyuubi brat was gone as Sarutobi looked in shame of his village. While doing some paperwork, someone shunshined into the office messing up the papers. Sarutobi looked at the person and could tell they were far from happy. Sarutobi, what the hell do you mean you lost Naruto? The man said as Sarutobi looked down at the desk. I'm sorry, Jiraiya, but we have no idea where he is. I'm still hoping that they didn't kill him. I don't know what to do, Sarutobi told him. Jiraiya cursed as he slammed his hand into the wall, cracking it slightly, making some of the Anbu hidden in the room flinch in fear. Jiraiya turned to leave as Sarutobi stopped him. Jiraiya, where are you going? Sarutobi asked as Jiraiya scoffed at his sensei. I'm going to find my godson. I can't believe I left him like this. Sarutobi, if I find out that these villagers killed him, you, them, and anyone else better pray to Kami that I don't find the people who did do it or I will unleash all hell on them, Jiraiya said with a face that made even Sarutobi sweat. Sarutobi sighed with a nod as he sat back in his chair as Jiraiya walked out the room. I'm sorry for all of this, Minato. I should have done better with protecting your son. You must be so distraught at your villagers for how they are acting, Sarutobi said. He sighed and went back to his paperwork. Back in Kumo, the night air reigned in Konoha as the full moon was in full bloom over the sky. Naruto slept peacefully in his new bed as he silently cursed his luck of having Kyuubi put images of a certain blonde woman in Naruto's mind as he slept. Naruto grumbled quietly as he spoke in his sleep. I'm gonna make you regret this, Kyuubi-chan, Naruto said in sleepy voice, which made Kyuubi chuckle at his embarrassment over the dreams she was sending him. Kyuubi was going to have so much fun with her new partner. She just knew it for a fact. Naruto came out of his room with a smile on his face as he was ready for another day of training with Bee and Yugito. Naruto had gotten used to life in Kumo and could honestly say that Kumo was much better than Konoha ever was. Naruto's was much liked by most of Kumo as the blonde always brought a smile to people's faces. Like Bee and Yugito, Naruto didn't attend the academy, so it was up to Bee and Yugito to help him with his own studies and training. Naruto grimaced as he remembered that Yugito was a strict person when it came to train. 2 weeks ago, Naruto could say that he had been put through hell with Yugito's training. Yugito had him go through so many physical exercises that he couldn't lift his arms for the first 3 days. Naruto, however, never complained as he found Yugito's softer side when they weren't training. Naruto and Yugito became closer over the few weeks as Yugito managed to teach Naruto about what chakra was along with giving him his first jutsu. Bee gave Naruto some chakra paper to find out his affinity. To their shock, Naruto had an affinity for Fuden, Raiden and Kaden, which made things perfect for them. Yugito decided to teach Naruto his first Kaden jutsu, which involved making multiple fire cats and firing them at enemies. Naruto managed to make an adaptation of it and decided to make foxes instead of cats out of some kind of respect for Kyuubi. Naruto and Kyuubi also got closer as Kyuubi found Naruto entertaining in more ways than one. For Kyuubi, Naruto was certainly the best way to pass the time while being in a cage. Kyuubi managed to teach Naruto the Kage Bunshin Jutsu since she felt he earned it for forgiving her. Needless to say, when Yugito found out about it, Naruto could almost hate Kyuubi for giving him the damned jutsu. Naruto walked from his room to the shower door and knocked so as not to have a repeat of the last time, to which Naruto and Yugito couldn't stare at each other for a whole day. Yugito-chan, are you in there? Naruto asked. Silence reigned in the bathroom as Naruto gulped and twisted the handle on the door. Naruto opened the door and looked around to see no one inside and sighed as he took off his clothes. Naruto grabbed a towel and stepped into the shower. Naruto's had become slightly taller thanks to his training and his body grew more defined. Muscles started to be evident, but not too much so. Naruto allowed the warm water to wash off his body as he scrubbed his blonde hair. Naruto stayed in the warm water for about 10 minutes, then left and went back to his room. Naruto wore a dark red muscle shirt with some tight black jeans as he strapped the 2 swords that Bee bought him on his back. Naruto looked into mirror and nodded with an approving grin as he left his room. Naruto came into the kitchen to see Yugito at the table with a bowl of soup and rice along with a plate of fish. Naruto found it weird that Yugito could like fish so much, but decided to think it had something to do with Nibi being a cat. Naruto sat down to his breakfast and gave a small smile to Yugito. Good morning, Yugito-chan, Naruto said to her. Yugito looked up from her food and smiled as she set the food down on the table. Good morning, Naruto-kun. Are you ready to continue your training? Yugito asked him. Naruto nodded with a smile as he took his chopsticks and ate his breakfast with Yugito in silence. Both finished their dishes rather quickly as they put both their dishes in the sink and left. Naruto decided to do his usual and ran a few laps around the hours while Yugito did some stretches. Naruto noticed one very weird position she was in as he wondered how her body could be that flexible. It's one of the benefits of being the Nibi Jinchuriki, Kyuubi said, deciding to include herself in Naruto's thoughts. Ah, good morning, Kyuubi-chan. So that's why she can do that. It looks painful, Naruto said, to which Kyuubi laughed. For other people it would be painful. Those aren't stretches that a normal human can do, Kyuubi told him. Naruto nodded as he continued to run, oblivious to the conversation Yugito was having with her own tenant. I'm telling you, kitten, you should take him now before any other girls try to get him. You can't lose such a stunning young man, kitten, Nibi said as Yugito rolled her eyes in frustration and annoyance. Yugito tried to ignore her tenant, but having Nibi connected to her thoughts wasn't the best of ideas. Nibi, leave me alone. Why are you trying to set me up with Naruto-kun? I'm 8 years older than him. You seem to be quite into my love life lately, Yugito thought as Nibi twirled around her cage in laughter at Yugito's words, which made the blonde woman raise an eyebrow as she wondered what was so funny. What love life, kitten? You haven't been interested in any guy that has approached you. You're the one who's quite popular with the guys, yet you're too stubborn. As far as I'm concerned, Naruto-kun's the only one you've let get close to you since being Raikage, Nibi said as if she was trying to make a point, to which she was. Yugito sighed as she ended her stretching and got down on the ground to do some sit-ups. We're not discussing this, Nibi. Besides, I don't think Naruto-kun would like me anyway, Yugito said as she huffed to finish her warm-up sit, completely oblivious to Nibi's devious smile. Really? Because I've noticed him stealing a few glances at you over the past few weeks. He was even looking at you a few minutes ago, Nibi said, which caused Yugito to suddenly stop in mid-rise of her sit-up. Yugito took a glance to her left to see Naruto doing some push-ups, but for some reason his eyes weren't looking at the ground. More like they were trying to avoid hers. Yugito gave a slight blush as Nibi rolled around in her cage with a laugh. Yugito stopped her sit-ups and walked over to Naruto as the blonde finished his set and sat on the ground. Yugito sat next to Naruto and stole a glance at him as she decided to start the training. Alright then, Naruto-kun, let's with you going over some chakra control exercises. You are going to climb this mountaintop using nothing but your chakra. I want you to keep this up until B arrives, Yugito said to him. Naruto nodded as he applied chakra to his feet and ran at the mountain. Yugito decided to do that same as she followed after Naruto. Yugito ran up the mountain with a smile on her face as she passed Naruto, who gasped at her speed. No fair, Yugito-chan, Naruto yelled, which caused Yugito to turn her head while continuing to run. Life's not fair, Naruto-kun, Yugito yelled back to him. Naruto gave a hidden smirk across his face as he formed a simple hand sign. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto yelled as 8 clones came into existence. All the clones smirked as one of them grabbed the real Naruto's feet. All the clones continued to grab the other's feet until the last one came as he twirled them all. Yugito turned her head and gasped as she saw 7 Narutos skyrocket up to her. Naruto's eyes met Yugito's eyes for a split second, but he passed her as the other 6 came in front of her. It seems life is fairer to me than you, Yugito-chan, Naruto said as he disappeared into the clouds. Yugito narrowed her eyes with a slight grin as she pumped more chakra into her feet and sprinted off. Naruto was feeling good as the wind brushed his face. Naruto planted his feet back onto the mountain and ran, but gasped as he slowly slid back down. Naruto noticed that the mountain was steeper than before and had to be careful. Naruto slowly walked up the steep mountainside and could only wonder how far he had gone. Naruto then made the mistake of looking down and dropped his jaw as he saw how small Yugito's house was from the height. Naruto's vision blurred slightly as he turned back around fast. Note to self. Never look down ever again, Naruto thought to himself. Naruto managed to keep up his chakra control as he felt himself breathing a lot harder now. Naruto-kun, stop, Yugito yelled as Naruto turned his head to see Yugito not far behind him. Naruto obeyed as he waited for Yugito to catch up to him. Yugito wasted no time and came up to Naruto with a slight smile. I didn't expect you to get this far up the mountain. You should come back down now. The further you go, the harder it is to breathe. You even got further than I did when I tried it. Right here is where most Chunin to low Junin level people are. I'm impressed, Yugito told Naruto. Naruto gave a grin from the praise as he and Yugito descended the mountain. Naruto found his breathing much easier as he stared back at the mountain. Naruto suddenly gave a small smile as Yugito, Nibi, and Kyuubi's sweat dropped. I better watch him now. He's going to try and conquer the mountain. Why shouldn't I be surprised by that? Yugito thought as the two Jinchuriki turned back to CB waiting for them. Hey ya fools. I saw ya tryin' to tackle da mountain. Ya gotta aim higher to be gettin' stronger, B said as Naruto and Yugito nodded in agreement. Yugito walked up to B and turned back to Naruto. So what are we teaching him today? We've warmed up enough and I was going to review the Kage Bunshin Jutsu with him, but after that exercise I think he's got that down. So what do we do? Yugito asked B. B took a thinking pose as Naruto waited for his instructions. How's da kid's taijutsu coming? B asked her. Yugito turned back to Naruto and gave a soft smile. It's coming well. I didn't teach him the academy style as it has too many faults in it. So I simply taught him my Neko taijutsu. Thanks to Kyuubi, Naruto seems to use it quite well, I should say almost as good as me, Yugito responded. B nodded with a grin which made Yugito slightly nervous. Naruto raised an eyebrow at both of them as B walked up to Naruto. Hey Lil 9, I think you're ready to be a genin now, B said as Naruto's eyes beamed and Yugito dropped her jaw slightly. B gave him a thumbs up as Yugito placed her hand on B's shoulder. B, don't you think that's rushing it? Normally all the academy students graduate at either 11 or 12. Naruto-kun might be too young to start his career as a shinobi, Yugito said, knowing the dangers of actual ninja duty. B smirked as he turned to Yugito and placed his arm on Naruto's shoulder. Don't be like dat, Yugi-chan. I was a genin at age 10. You were a genin at 9. Why shouldn't Lil 9 become one at 8? B asked her. Yugito wanted to say something, but couldn't as she knew B had a point. Both of them were given special exceptions in becoming genin early. Yugito sighed as she looked from B to Naruto and back. Yugito walked up to Naruto and smiled. I think Naruto-kun should decide. It's his future after all, Yugito said to B. B nodded in agreement as both turned to Naruto. Naruto took a thinking pose for a few minutes to decide and smiled as he turned to the two Jinchuriki. I would like to become a genin, Naruto told them. Yugito gave a small smile while B nodded. Da kid's made his choice, Yugi-chan. Let's take him to bro, B said to her. Yugito nodded as the three Jinchuriki went to the Raikage mansion to update Raikage about Naruto. Raikage mansion. Raikage simply doing paperwork as he mentally cursed the large stacks of documents to his left. Raikage sighed as he wondered if he could simply burn the paper with his Raiden affinity. Raikage was soon brought out of his rage by the sound of the door opening to see his assistant come in through the door. Sorry to disturb you, Raikage-sama, but you have guests, the dark-colored woman said to him. Raikage thanked the heavens for whoever it was and grinned at her. Thank you, Mabui. Send them in, Raikage said to her. Mabui nodded and quickly left as Raikage wondered who it was that wanted to see him. After 5 minutes of waiting, Raikage saw the door open again to see B, Naruto, and Yugito come through the door. Hey bro, how's it going with da paperwork? B asked while Raikage grumbled. Naruto chuckled but stopped as everyone got serious. Raikage turned to Naruto and smiled. Haven't seen you for a while, kid. How you been? He decided to ask. Naruto smiled and stepped forward. I've been good, Sama, Naruto said to him. Raikage nodded as he turned to Yugito. So what's the matter? Raikage asked them. B and Yugito turned to each other and nodded as they turned back to Raikage. We believe that Naruto-kun is ready to become a genin for Kumo, Yugito said to him. Raikage raised an eyebrow at them then looked down at Naruto. Are you too sure? He's only been here a month and a few weeks, Raikage asked them. Yugito and B nodded with confidence as they brought Naruto forward. And thanks to our training he is currently stronger than any fresh out of the academy student. The kid's more than ready for this bro, B said with a thumbs up. Raikage turned to Yugito then B and then to Naruto. Raikage smirked as he got up from his desk and walked until he was in front of Naruto. So you're ready to become a genin? Raikage asked. Naruto immediately nodded with a confident grin as Raikage smirked. Alright then. Normally you would have to wait like all the other kids, but I don't think there's anything that really normal about you, Raikage said aiming for that to be in a nice way. Naruto managed to pick up on that and nodded as Raikage brought B and Yugito to his side. Alright Naruto. You will go through 3 parts of this exam. First is the written exam, Second is the jutsu portion and third is a little spar with either Yugito or be here, Reikage told him. Naruto nodded with a smile as Reikage motioned for Mabui. Yes, Reikage-sama, Mabui said as she looked briefly at Naruto and gave a small smile which Naruto returned with his own smile. Take Naruto to an examination room and give him a written exam. Apparently he wasn't to be the youngest kid to become a genin, Reikage said, to which Mabui chuckled. Mabui nodded and took Naruto's hand as both left the main room. Yugito and B smiled at each other as they decided to wait for Naruto to be finished. Naruto and Mabui walked to an empty room used for council meetings as Naruto sat in a chair and Mabui gave him a simple paper and a pencil. All right, Naruto. I'll wait till you're finished. Don't rush and take all the time you need, Mabui told him. Naruto simply nodded and grinned as he sat in a chair with the paper in front of him. Mabui sat in a chair on the opposite side of where Naruto was sitting and took out a book to read. Naruto took the pencil and glanced at the test. Naruto softly chuckled at the fact that everything was about Kumo, though he shouldn't have been surprised. Naruto seemed to know most of the questions simply from the books Yugito gave him to read over the month. Naruto wrote down everything as best he could. Naruto even got some help from Kyuubi as she told him the answers to this that he normally wouldn't know. Within 20 minutes, Naruto finished his paper and handed it to Mabui. I'm finished, Mabui-san, Naruto said to her. Mabui nodded as she took the paper and escorted Naruto back to the main room. Reikage-sama, Naruto-san is finished with his examination. I will grade his exam and will return shortly, Mabui said with a bow as she left. Naruto gave his never-ending smile as Yugito, B and Reikage got up from their seats. Alright then, Naruto, we will start the jutsu portion of the exam. Come with us outside, Reikage said as all four people left the building. Reikage brought them to an open field and turned to Naruto. Alright, Naruto, B told me about your affinities, so for the jutsu portion I want you to do one type of jutsu for each affinity, Reikage told him. Naruto nodded as he walked a little further into the field for a safe distance. Reikage waved for Naruto to start as the blonde went through multiple hand signs. Fuden. Daitapa, wind release. Great breakthrough, Naruto yelled as he sent a massive gust of wind towards the group. Yugito, B, and Reikage braced themselves for the wind as they were knocked back a few feet. Naruto released the jutsu as he saw Reikage wave his hand. Naruto sheepishly chuckled and rubbed the back of his head as Reikage and B clapped. Yugito was happy that Naruto was able to do it, but cursed that she didn't have her hair set for it as she tried to bring it back to its original shape. Reikage waved his hand for Naruto to continue, as to which the blonde nodded. Naruto went through more hand signs and pumped an electrical current through his right hand. Raiden. Kaminari no Jishin, lightning release. Thunderquake, Naruto yelled as he slammed the ground, causing a medium-sized wave of lightning to spread across the ground, nearly hitting B, Yugito and Reikage, but managed to stop in time. Reikage smirked at the small hole Naruto made in the ground while B clapped. Yugito gave a small smile, but turned to B with the all-too-innocent smile that made B sweat. B, when we get back, you're going to tell me how Naruto-kun knows that jutsu, Yugito said as B nodded though quivered slightly. Reikage laughed at them both, but everyone turned their attention to Naruto, who was ready for the signal to continue. Reikage waved his hand as Naruto did the tiger seal and breathed deeply. Kaden. Kitsune no Hinotama, fire release. Demon Fox Fireball, Naruto yelled as he shot 7 fox-looking fireballs into a mountainside, causing a considerable amount of damage. Naruto huffed slightly as he felt his chakra get slightly winded, but shook it off and stood tall from his achievement. Reikage nodded as he and 2 Jinchuriki came to Naruto. Good Lil 9. I'm impressed with DA's skills, B said to him. Naruto nodded as Reikage pointed to B or Yugito. Next is a light spar. Pick your opponent and you must fight them with as much skill as you are able for 1 hour. The only rule is no ninjutsu or genjutsu, Reikage told him. Naruto nodded with a smile as he turned from Yugito to B and back. Naruto did this process multiple times, but stopped and pointed to his target. I'll take Yugi-chan, Naruto said, which surprised all 3 of them. Yugito gave a grin and stood across from Naruto. I won't go easy on you simply because I like you, Naruto-kun, Yugito told him. Naruto gave a slight blush while Nibi decided to intervene. So you do like him? Nibi asked, to which Yugito blushed from the twisting way that Nibi used her words against her. Not like that Bakaneko, Yugito said to her tenant, to which Nibi rolled her eyes with a smile. Naruto fought back the blush on his face as he took out his two swords. Bring it on, Yugito-chan. I always wanted a cat to play with, Naruto said, to which Yugito's eyebrow twitched. Reikage and B stifled their laughter as Yugito gave a smile. Let's go then, Naruto-kun, Yugito told him. Naruto nodded as Reikage waved his hand for the fight to commence. Yugito wasted no time and dashed towards Naruto. Naruto gasped at the speed as he found himself flying through the air thanks to a kick from Yugito. Yugito gave a smile as Naruto crashed into the base of the mountain. Naruto painfully chuckled as Yugito spoke from the center of the field. Cats can be quite vicious, Naruto-kun, Yugito told him. Naruto narrowed his eyes at her and quickly rebounded as he got to his feet. Naruto couldn't rely on his cage bunshin this time and channeled chakra to his feet as he ran towards Yugito. Yugito saw Naruto coming and tried to dodge, but moved too late as Naruto appeared in front of her. Yugito and Naruto smiled at each other as Naruto threw out a punch. Yugito managed to block the punch with her right hand and twirled her body to bring her foot around. Naruto turned his eyes fast to the right and ducked his head, managing to avoid the semi-lethal kick aimed at his neck. Naruto and Yugito continued their close quarters taijutsu fight as Reikage turned to B. He's doing well. It seems having you two teach him was the right thing to do, Reikage told him. B nodded with a grin of pride as both turned back to the fight to see Yugito skidding back while holding her stomach. Sorry, Yugi-chan, but if the cat disobeys then the owner must discipline it, Naruto told her. Yugito and Nibi chuckled at the smart aleck remarks Naruto made as they always found them funny since they both knew he was teasing. Yugito chuckled as she took out a kunai and threw it at Naruto. Naruto managed to counter with it with one of his swords, but cursed as he found out too late that the kunai was a distraction. Naruto turned his head to find Yugito, but cursed as she disappeared from his view. Naruto looked in all directions, but still couldn't find her as quickly looked up. Naruto gasped as he saw a multitude of kunai coming down on him. He quickly made a defense position that he learned from B as he Naruto blocked the rain of kunai left and right. Naruto blocked as many kunai as he could, but it was too much as Naruto decided better to cover his head and block as the kunai made several cuts throughout his body. The rain of kunai stopped as dropped one of his swords by mistake. Yugito saw her chance and came out and rushed at Naruto as she was looking to end the fight. Yugito had about 30 minutes left for the fight, but decided to end it now. Yugito closed in on Naruto looking for the final hit as she connected her right fist to Naruto's face. And that's the cat's defiance, Yugito said with a smile. Naruto grimaced, but gave a hidden smirk as he disappeared. Yugito gasped as she saw one of his swords on the ground. Kawarimi no Jutsu, Yugito said in realization as she looked to see Naruto behind her with his sword at her back. And with that the cat learned to be obedient, Naruto told her. Yugito narrowed her eyes, but chuckled as she raised her hands. I give Reikage-sama, Yugito said to him. Reikage nodded as Yugito and Naruto left for a second to patch up their injuries, which only took about 5 minutes. 5 minutes later, Naruto, Yugito, and B were all present with Reikage again as Reikage turned to Naruto. Good job, Naruto. Mabui gave me the results to your written exam and they are more than satisfactory. You did very well in the ninjutsu portion as well as the taijutsu portion. You have done well, Reikage told him. B patted Naruto on the back while Yugito nodded her head with a smile. Naruto blushed slightly, but bowed in gratitude of the Reikage's words. Reikage smirked as he went into his drawer and pulled out a Kumo headband. Naruto gasped at the headband as Reikage handed it to him. Welcome to the ranks, Genin Naruto Uzumaki, Reikage told him. Naruto's eyes beamed with excitement as he put on the Kumo headband. Yugito and B smiled while Reikage brought all three back to him for an announcement. This next decision was to be used whenever Naruto became Genin, which was today. I have already dubbed the three of you a team, Reikage told them. B, Yugito, and Naruto questioned the decision as Reikage chuckled. You three have been quite the friends since Naruto came, and I think it's best for Naruto to learn fast when he feels comfortable with those he is with. B, you are the leader of Team Jinchuriki, Reikage told him. B nodded as he, Yugito, and Naruto left the wreckage to his work. Now that he's a shinobi, it might be easier for Konoha to find him. Oh well, if Naruto wants to go I won't stop him, but if he wants to stay I'll protect him. Simple as that, Reikage thought as he frowned at the increased number of paperwork. Naruto, Yugito, and B continued to walk out of the mansion as Naruto touched the plating on his headband. Yugito and B smiled at his joy of being a Kumo shinobi. Also both were quite surprised that the three of them were a team. All three exited the mansion and walked back to Yugito's house. On the way back, Yugito noticed some of the academy girls checking Naruto out as the blonde female Jinchuriki narrowed her eyes. Nibi saw her chance and smiled at her devious plan. What did I tell you, kitten? They're already blushing from the sight of him. You should take him now while he's still single. You really need someone in your life, Nibi told her. Yugito as she didn't want to deal with Nibi's ramblings right now. During the same time, Naruto saw most of the male population eyeing Yugito as the blonde narrowed his eyes. Feeling jealous, Kit? Kyuubi asked him. Naruto stuttered with a small blush as he tried to deny Kyuubi's claims. B noticed the interactions between the two blondes and smirked at their feeling of jealousy for the other attracting the opposite. After a few more minutes, everyone arrived him as Naruto hit the soft carpet. Finally a break, Yugito-chan's tough, Naruto said as Yugito laid on the couch with a smile on her face. B sat up against the wall while Naruto and Yugito's sweat dropped. Why are you tired? You didn't do anything, Naruto and Yugito thought as they continued to rest on the couch, though thanks to their respective biju, both had a lot to think about as it referred to the other. Back in Konoha, Sarutobi was in a small state of depression as he had to call of the search for Naruto since most people presumed the blonde Jinchuriki to be dead. Sarutobi shook of such doubts, but not being able to Naruto's smiling face weighed heavily on the Sandame's heart. Sarutobi continued his paperwork, but stopped when a swirl of leaves came into the room with Jiraiya and a not-so-happy face. I take it you didn't find Naruto-kun? Sarutobi asked him. Jiraiya narrowed his eyes, which was all the Sandame needed to know. I'm going to keep searching for him. I'm sure he'll turn up somewhere. I swear, Sarutobi, I will kill the people who did this when I find them, and if it's a Konoha shinobi or civilian, Jiraiya told him. Sarutobi narrowed his eyes at Jiraiya and stood up. Jiraiya, I can't allow you to harm the people of Konoha on the assumption that they kidnapped Naruto, Sarutobi told him. Jiraiya flashed an intense ki throughout the building as mostly everyone shuddered under it. My godson is somewhere out in the world. He's probably all alone, starving, or even worse. I know I should have been there for him, but I'm going to find him. I also promise, no, I swear that if some here is responsible for his kidnapping I will get them and you won't stop me, Jiraiya said as he left in a swirl of wind. Sarutobi sat back in his chair and took off his hat. I'm getting too old for all this shit, Sarutobi said as he looked out the window and off into the distance. Naruto-kun, where are you? Sarutobi wondered. Back in Kumo, Yugito was still being pestered by her tenant as she wondered why she had to deal with all her ravings. Come on, kitten. You know you like him. So what if you're 8 years older than him? I would bet with half a mind that he likes you too. Would you at least do one date? Nibi asked her. Yugito cursed as she tried to keep her eyes closed and rest. Nibi, even if I did do what you're saying, I don't think Naruto-kun would want to be with me. He has a lot going for him and I don't want to hinder him, Yugito said, albeit quietly. Nibi seemed more frantic about Naruto than usual. She had always tried to make Yugito date some guys, but she was never this intense in her approaches. For Kami's sake, kitten, if you turn down every guy who asks you out or don't start searching, you're gonna end up old and alone in no time, Nibi told her. Yugito narrowed her eyes slightly as she looked at the ceiling. Yugito spared a glance at Naruto, who seemed to be muttering to himself about something. Sorry, Nibi, I can't do it. Besides, I would rather Naruto-kun ask me out, but I don't think that's likely, Yugito said to her tenant. Nibi sighed as she decided to give up for today, but everyone stopped as Naruto walked over to Yugito. Yugito-chan, Naruto said to her. Yugito removed her arms from covering her eyes as she turned to the blonde next to her. Yes, Naruto-kun. Did you need something? Yugito asked him. Naruto blushed for a second and looked at the ground, which caused Kyuubi, Nibi, B, and Yugito to wonder what he wanted to say. Naruto nodded fast and looked up at Yugito. Yugito-chan, will you go out with me? Naruto asked her. Time stopped for everyone as B's glasses slowly dropped off his face. Kyuubi's mouth hanged along with Nibi's as Yugito tried to process the words that Naruto just said to her. What? Yugito-chan, will you go out with me? Naruto asked her. Time stopped for everyone as B's glasses fell off his face. Kyuubi and Nibi had their mouths hanging while Yugito tried to process the words Naruto just said to her. What? She said to him as Naruto gave her a foxy grin. The entire room was silent as the three Biju and B waited for Naruto to clarify his words. Nibi was the first to come out of her thoughts and quickly jumped around in her cage. Do it, kitten. He asked you out now, claim the boy as your mate now. Nibi yelled. Yugito still didn't say anything for a few minutes as Naruto placed his hand on her forehead wondering what was wrong with her. Yugito-chan, are you okay? Your face is beet red, Naruto told her. Yugito gasped as she pointed at Naruto with a slightly accusing tone. Why you want me to go out with you? Yugito stuttered. Naruto smiled with a nod like it was the simplest thing in the world. Naruto then turned to B with the same innocent smile and pointed at him. I want B-sensei to go out with me also, Naruto told him. Nibi raised an eyebrow as she wondered about Naruto and mixed signals. Yugito stopped pointing and stared at B in confusion of Naruto's request. Both Jinchuriki turned back to the smaller Jinchuriki as Naruto looked at them both. What? I just wanted us to celebrate me graduating and becoming a part of Team Jinchuriki, Naruto told them. Yugito and B widened their eyes at the revelation for a few seconds while Nibi chuckled at Naruto's innocent nature along with Kyuubi. He's still a kid after all. Oh well, I guess I can at least tease kitten for a few more years, Nibi thought as she settled down. Yugito gave a small smile and stood to her feet. Oh, that's what you meant by go out with you, Yugito said, to which Naruto quirked up an eyebrow. What did you think I meant? Naruto asked them. B gave a nervous chuckle while Yugito's eyes roamed the living room as both surely couldn't tell Naruto what the two of them were thinking. Naruto looked at both of them and kept up the confused face, but shrugged his shoulders as he decided to go outside. Seeing Naruto leave, Yugito and B sighed as they slumped back to the floor. Yano Yugi-chan, I don't think I've seen you blush so hard before. You certainly haven't blushed from confessions before, B told her. Yugito sighed again as she turned her head to B. It wasn't a confession, Kurabi. It was just an invitation for both of us. That's all it was, Yugito told him. B shrugged his shoulders and walked outside to find Naruto while Yugito laid on the couch. You're not going to let me live this down, are you? Yugito asked her tenant. Nibi chuckled, but shook her head in a big negative to Yugito's question. Sorry, kitten, but I've just got something to entertain myself with now, Nibi told her. Yugito huffed and walked off as she decided to find the other two. Yugito looked out back to see that no one was in the yard as she wondered where they went. Yugito looked up as she heard yelling. B-sensei, you cheater. You said you wouldn't try to attack me while we raced to the top, Naruto yelled. Yugito gasped as she heard B's laughing. Come on, ya fool. Ya gotta have fun with what ya can get, B shouted. Yugito shook her head with a smile as she channeled Charka to her feet. Yugito ran up the mountainside as she tried to catch up with the others. With Naruto and B. Naruto and B laughed as they ran up the mountain point. Naruto weaved hand signs as his right hand glowed with lightning. Raiden. Kaminari no Jishin, Naruto yelled as he hit the mountain. B gasped as he saw multiple rocks coming at him. B smirked as he jumped on the rocks and managed to get out of Naruto's attack. Naruto slightly cursed, but laughed as the two kept running. Naruto came up to the spot where Yugito stopped him and smirked as he and B managed to run past that point. Naruto let the sweat roll off his face as he and B continued to run. Don't leave me out of this fun, Yugito yelled. Naruto and B turned to see her coming at them fast. B smirked as everyone disappeared above the clouds of the mountain. Yugito managed to catch up to the two as she turned to them. You know this is dangerous, right? Yugito asked them. Naruto and B chuckled as Naruto closed it on her. Aw, come on, Yugito-chan. Lighten up and have a bit of fun, Naruto told her as he threw a smoke bomb at her. Yugito gasped and covered her eyes as she let the smoke roll off her. Yugito saw Naruto take out his swords as Yugito took out a kunai. All right, Naruto-kun. Let's have some fun then, Yugito said as she made a swift turn around and faced the bottom of the mountain which no one could see due to the clouds. Naruto and B stopped as Yugito turned to them with a hidden smile on her face. Yugito channeled chakra to her feet and turned to them both. Last one to the bottom pays for the celebration dinner, Yugito said fast as she charged towards the bottom. Naruto gasped while B laughed and followed after Yugito. Naruto cursed as he ran after them both, but had a smile on his face. Yugito was currently in the lead as she felt the excitement from the exercise. Yugito turned her head to see B throw a kunai at her. Yugito successfully dodged the projectile and tried to run faster. Naruto came out of the smoke with a smile as he threw a sword at B. B blocked the sword, but saw Naruto make 5 clones as they each grabbed each other's clothes. See you two at the bottom. I'm not payin', Naruto said as his clones launched him to the bottom. Yugito slightly cursed along with B as Naruto hit the ground. Naruto chuckled as B and Yugito slowed their speed and slid down the mountain. B came in last as Yugito fell to her feet for a second. Was there a purpose to this? Yugito asked them, feeling a little tired. B shrugged his shoulders along with Naruto as Yugito's sweat dropped. Naruto smiled as he turned to B and pointed at him. Looks you're paying B-sensei, Naruto and Yugito said to him. B's sweat dropped and slumped his shoulders in depression as he wondered how much money his wallet would have left. B nodded and left the two in the yard as Naruto turned to Yugito. Naruto's eyes ran down her hair and came up to her face. Naruto gave a soft smile and turned to Yugito. Yugito-chan, would you spar with me? Naruto asked her. Yugito gave a blank face, but nodded as she stood to her feet. Naruto assumed his stance while Yugito took her Neko stance. Why do you want to spar, Naruto-kun? Yugito asked him. Naruto gave her a smile as he looked at the ground for a few moments. I'm not sure why. I just felt like spending some quality time with Yugito-chan, Naruto told her. Yugito blushed slightly, but nodded as the two spared like there was no tomorrow. A few hours later, the sun began to go down as Naruto and Yugito panted from the spar. Both looked at the battered field and decided to stop. Naruto smirked and closed his eyes as he dropped to the ground in exhaustion. Yugito walked over to him and laid down on the ground next to him as Naruto turned his head to her. Yugito-chan, Naruto said, trying to gain her attention. Yugito turned to Naruto with a smile on her face along with small amounts of sweat. Yes, Naruto-kun, Yugito said to him. Naruto chuckled as he looked at the sky and grabbed Yugito's hand. I wasn't kidding when I asked if you would go out with me, Naruto told her. Yugito blushed, which caused Nibi and Kyuubi to become interested in the conversation. Naruto decided to continue since she didn't say anything. You probably think you're too old for you, but I still like you. It's thanks to you that I'm even here right now. I just wanted to tell you that, Naruto said as he got up and left to go get ready for the small celebration, leaving Yugito to her thoughts. Great. He just had to say that, didn't he? Yugito thought as she looked at the sky. Nibi chuckled while Yugito rolled her eyes. Well, kitten, it seems he's matured quite a bit in the month. You can think what you want, but he's not a child anymore. He's a young boy. Technically, he's actually an adult, but let's get real here. Kitten, you need to stop limiting yourself, Nibi told her. Yugito groaned as she was given something unnecessary to think about. Yugito sighed again as she found Kami to be a cruel master or mistress. Yugito got up as she went to change her clothes and get ready for the celebration. Naruto closed the door to his room and slumped on the door as he looked at the wall. I wonder if I shouldn't have said that. I'm just a kid. What do I know about liking someone? Naruto asked himself, but found someone that decided to answer. Well, Kit, that's not an question anyone can generally answer. I should say that since you came to Kumo, you've matured in the month. You really don't think like most 8-year-olds, and even if you did, I'm sure you would probably have similar feelings if it was anything similar to this. Also, this is partially my and Nibi's fault, Kyuubi told him. Naruto raised an eyebrow at Kyuubi as the vixen chuckled and rubbed the back of her head in embarrassment. What do you mean, Kyuubi-chan? Naruto asked her. Kyuubi scratched her cheek as she explained. Well, the Biju are naturally drawn to each other when in close proximity. Some get along with each other and other generally hate each other. Nibi is actually my little sister. She always was a close relationship kind of woman. She just couldn't stay out of things that involved other people. I guess you could say that judging by how Yugito acts, I could tell what Nibi was planning, so I helped a bit. Nibi actually released some pheromones that made you attracted to Yugito without her noticing. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure you really like her, but those pheromones are maybe a part of the equation. So in turn, I made a few changes to your body. Since you have been eating the right types of food after you came to Kumo, I was able to make small changes to your body. So you actually have a leaner and slightly more muscular body. The training they did for you helped also. Maybe that's why, Kyubi told him. Naruto sighed as he leaned his head back on the door. Naruto was still unclear on some things, but he understood everything else pretty much. So that's why I'm attracted you, Yugito-chan? Naruto asked her. Kyubi grinned, but she knew it wasn't the time to. It's part of the reason. You still like her nonetheless, Kyubi told him. Naruto nodded with an understanding grin, but narrowed his eyes and decided to ask something else. So how does Yugito-chan feel then? He asked. Kyubi adopted a thinking pose and went over Naruto's question. After a few minutes, Kyubi decided to speak. I have no idea, Kyubi said, which caused Naruto to sweat drop. Naruto sighed with a nod as he got up and put some normal clothes on. Naruto wore a red shirt with a black jacket and black jeans along with black shinobi shoes. Naruto placed his swords near the bed. Naruto closed the door to his room and walked towards the door as he waited for Yugito. After about 5 minutes, Naruto saw Yugito come down the stairs. Yugito simply wore her regular clothes as they were the perfect cross between shinobi and civilian clothes. Naruto saw that she let her hair down a bit instead of in a ponytail, but not too much. Ready to go, Yugito-chan? Naruto asked her. Yugito nodded with a smile as the two left and closed the door. Naruto and Yugito entered the village district and met up with B, who wore his regular clothes also. The three Jinchuriki walked towards a nice-looking restaurant and entered to see very few people inside. So we're eating here? Yugito asked as she felt she was a little underdressed. Naruto felt the same thing as they saw some people in nice clothes. B chuckled as he turned to them. Hey you two, now is da time fo celebratin'. Let's have a good time tonight ya fools, B told them. Naruto chuckled while Yugito rolled her eyes, but nodded nonetheless. All three got to a table and sat down as Naruto opened the menu. Wow, there's some many things to eat. I can't really decide, Naruto told them. Both nodded, but everyone placed the menus down and turned to the waiter. I guess I'll have some fried fish with the exquisite miso soup, Yugito told him. The man nodded as he took the order. I'll have a steak with some fries, Naruto said to him. B looked at the menu a bit longer and smirked. I'll have da takoyaki with extra seasonings ya fool, B said to him. The man's sweat dropped, but nodded as he left the three to their waiting. Naruto took a sip of water that was offered to him and looked at the two Jinchuriki across from him, but mostly at Yugito. Naruto sighed as he remembered Kyubi's talk to him. Yugito was pretty much doing the same thing, but kept it more discreet. Man, I can't get that confession out of my head now. What's wrong with me? Yugito thought when Nibi decided to spark up a conversation. I'd bet your future kittens that you're trying to write off the emotions you're starting to feel for an 8-year-old, Nibi said with a laugh. Yugito sighed and took a sip of milk as she knew better than to try and reject Nibi's comment, but did so anyway. Nibi, I can't have feelings for him. I'll admit Naruto-kun's cute. He's a hard worker. He's compassionate, kind, and that's a nice list you made for him. To think it's still going on, Nibi intervened. Yugito paused and blushed as she looked at her glass of cold milk. Are there really no good guys in Kumo who wouldn't want me just for my body? Yugito thought as Nibi gave a big grin across her face. Of course there is kitten, Nibi told her. Yugito perked up for a split second as she wondered who Nibi had in mind. Oh, and who is that? Yugito asked her, though she felt a sense that she was going to regret asking that question. How right she was as Nibi scratched her ears. Why Naruto-kun, of course, Nibi told her. Yugito faltered as gave a long exasperated sigh of frustration. Yugito soon smirked as she decided to try Nibi's game and get some revenge. So what would you do if you were to date Naruto-kun in a few more years? Yugito asked her tenant. Nibi smirked and looked at Naruto through Yugito's eyes and subconsciously licked her lips. I'd make him mine on the first night. I can picture it now. Naruto-kun and I are finished with a very nice dinner. He walks me back to the house and leads me to the door. Naruto-kun suddenly wraps his muscles around me and bring me into a tight embrace towards him. He looks deep into my eyes and gives me a firm kiss, bringing me to my knees. He suddenly carries me bridal style into a vacant room in the house. Yugito's eyebrow twitched as she saw the picture that Nibi was transmitting to her, and for some reason, it pissed her off to almost no end. Naruto-kun slams the door and throws me on the bed. He suddenly rips the clothes off my body and starts to pleasure me non-stop. He never stops with his endless stamina and makes me come at nearly every single turn. My body gets hotter and hotter as I see the intense desire in his eyes that he has for my body. Excuse me. I see his long thick member reacting to me and I gasp at the immense pleasure I will receive. Naruto mounts me and he finally. Nibi-chan. He rocks my world for countless days on end. I feel his body so close to mine that I can smell the sweat on his body as he pounds me in and out. I feel the greatest orgasm of my life as I feel the greatest pleasure in the world as I have never felt before. I can't stop thinking about him coming and taking complete advantage of my body. Then he ends with, Nibi, enough. Stop the images. Yugito yelled out mentally as Nibi decided to stop. Nibi unknowingly had a huge blush across her face as she pictured what she was talking about. Yugito was feeling the blush too and tried to control her breathing. Naruto and B turned to her as Naruto placed his hand on her shoulder. Yugito-chan, are you okay? Naruto asked her. Yugito felt a slight tingle as she found herself blushing much harder. Kyuubi chuckled, but could see that whatever Nibi did was driving Yugito out of control. Naruto quirked up an eyebrow and smelled the air. Something's in the air. It smells sweet or honey-ish, Naruto said, which caused B to nod in agreement of Naruto's assessment. Yugito's blush deepened as she still felt Naruto's hand on her shoulder. Nibi, why am I feeling like this? I feel like I can't control the blush on my face right now. Why do I feel so hot right now? Yugito asked as Nibi gave a nervous chuckle. Yugito raised an eyebrow at the silence and was about to ask again, but Nibi responded before she could. Kitten, the pheromones in the air are out of control and you're very close to losing it. Naruto-kun is a bit younger than you, so it won't affect him right away. However, he will feel it sooner or later. I just hope you can survive the night, Nibi told her. Yugito cursed as this night was turning out to be a disaster. Naruto started to blush as he didn't feel a reason to, but he couldn't control it. Kyuubi-chan, what's going on? Why am I blushing? Naruto asked her. Kyuubi scratched the back of her head and chuckled. It seems Nibi released too many pheromones into the air and it's starting to affect you and Yugito. I think B smells something in the air, but he doesn't know what. Nibi specifically targeted you and Yugito, so the both of you are feeling it the most, Kyuubi told him. Naruto slightly cursed as he took his hand off of Yugito. Yugito's blush calmed down, but it wasn't fully gone as Naruto sat back in his seat. Everyone was now served their food as Yugito desperately tried to eat. Same happened to Naruto as he had a bit of difficulty trying to eat. Calm down. Just get through this dinner. Then you can go home. Just calm down, Yugito and Naruto thought as they silently ate their food. B ate his food also, but found the smell in the air to be distracting. Naruto and Yugito ate rather fast as they finished their food. B chuckled at their actions as thanks to the Hachibi he knew why they were acting that way. I'm talking my stuff home. I can't eat any more later, ya fools, B said as he left the two blondes. Naruto and Yugito gasped as they felt they got played. Naruto and Yugito did the same thing as both picked up their food and left the restaurant. Both walked home quite fast as they ignored the glares of confusion people had on their faces. Naruto even bumped into a white-haired man as he was sent crashing into the ground. Yugito turned around to see Naruto with his head down. Sorry sir. I'm in a rush to get home, Naruto said to the man. The man chuckled as he patted Naruto's shoulder. Naruto looked up at the man as he saw a big scroll on his back. It's all right, Gaki. Say, have you ever seen a kid by the name of Naruto? He asked him. Naruto raised an eyebrow at him and nodded as he pointed to himself. Yeah, I'm Naruto, who are you? Naruto asked him. The man gasped as he knelt down. He suddenly gave Naruto a hug as he cried softly. Naruto raised an eyebrow at him and turned to Yugito. Yugito shrugged her shoulders as she had finally realized that their business was done as her blush and his blush died down. Naruto turned back to the sobbing man and placed his hand on his shoulder. Are you okay? Naruto asked him. The man nodded fast and smiled. I'm fine. I'm so glad I found you, Naruto. I'm Jiraiya from Konoha. I've come to take you home, Jiraiya told him. Naruto raised an eyebrow at him and gasped when he heard Jiraiya was from Konoha. Naruto narrowed his eyes along with Yugito as the blonde woman walked up to him. I'm sorry, but you can't take him. He's a shinobi of Kumo and you will need to see Raikage-sama immediately, Yugito said in a slightly defensive tone. Jiraiya turned to her and sheepishly nodded as he rubbed the back of his head. Sorry about that. I didn't see the headband on him. Alright, please take me to the Raikage, Jiraiya told her. Yugito reluctantly nodded as she and Naruto escorted Jiraiya to the Raikage mansion. Raikage mansion. Raikage sighed as he looked at the never-ending stacks of paperwork and wondered why he had to do it all by himself. Mabui soon came in through the door and alerted Raikage to her presence. What is it, Mabui? I asked her. Mabui grinned as she opened the door. Yugito and Naruto-san wish to see you along with someone else, Mabui told him. I narrowed his eyes slightly, but nodded as he saw the two blondes come in with a man that made Raikage sigh. I figured it would have been a bit longer before they found him, a thought as Naruto and Yugito spoke. Raikage-sama, this is Jiraiya. He's a Sannin from Konoha. He said he's here to take Naruto-kun back to Konoha, Yugito told him. Aside as he turned to Jiraiya with a look of annoyance. I'm sorry, Jiraiya, but I'm not letting Naruto go, said to him. Jiraiya narrowed his eyes and walked up to A's desk and placed his hand on it. Raikage-sama, Konoha is Naruto-kun's home. We need him there. I'm sorry if he imposed on you or anything, but we need Naruto-kun back, Jiraiya told him. Naruto raised an eyebrow at Jiraiya's statement. I narrowed his eyes and nearly had half a mind to punch Jiraiya for saying that. You need him. Or do you simply want him back because you lost your weapon? Naruto told me how he was kidnapped from Konoha by who knows what. I don't know Konoha's customs, but to me that's just plain crude, said to him. Jiraiya sighed with a nod as a turn to Naruto. When you kicked Naruto out of the village, he was free to be adopted by any village. Naruto has been happy here and I'm more than willing to keep him here. I won't if he wants to go, but it's his choice and just like I accept it, you should also, I told him. Jiraiya nodded as all eyes fell on Naruto. Naruto sighed as he closed his eyes to think everything over. Naruto took about 7 minutes, then opened his eyes and smiled. Jiraiya, I'm happy that you want to take me home, but a place that doesn't want me isn't a home for me. Here I have found Yugi-chan, Gigi and lots of other people. I would like to stay here. I put on this Kumo headband and it shows that my allegiance is to Kumo. Tell Gigi that I'm sorry. I would like to see him again, but I'm staying here, Naruto told him. Jiraiya gasped then looked at the ground with a small smile. I should have been there for you, Naruto. If I didn't have to manage my spy network I would have taken you with me. It must have been hard, being alone all those years. I'm sorry for everything. I'll tell Gigi for you. I don't mind if you stay here, but someday let me tell you about your parents, Jiraiya said to him. Naruto looked at the ground and smiled with a nod as Jiraiya turned to A. Please let me see him sometimes. I might have failed as his godfather in Konoha, but let me make it up to him somehow, Jiraiya said to A. A groaned and massaged his temples as he turned to Naruto. Well, Naruto, what do you think? I asked him. Naruto smiled with a nod as he walked up to Jiraiya. Naruto held out his hand as Jiraiya gave it a firm shake. I can't wait to get to know my godfather, Naruto said to him. Jiraiya nodded as he turned to leave, but stopped for a second and turned back to A and Naruto. You know when I tell the Hokage, he's going to be coming over here, right? Jiraiya asked them. Both nodded with Naruto smiling and rolling his eyes. Jiraiya chuckled as he left. Naruto turned to A and smiled. Thank you, Gigi, Naruto told him. A smirked as he patted Naruto's shoulder. It's all right, kid. You're a Kumo shinobi now and I protect all my shinobi, I told him. Naruto nodded as he turned to Yugito. You didn't think I'd leave that easily, did you? Naruto asked her. Yugito chuckled as she walked close to the door. Please, if Naruto-kun left, then the house would be much quieter, Yugito said as Naruto raised an eyebrow at her. Yugito smirked and turned back to Naruto and Ai, who had confused looks on their faces. I hate having too much quiet, Yugito said to them. Naruto chuckled along with it as Naruto brought it down to his height. Do you know how to get rid of all that paperwork? Naruto asked him. Ai gasped and grabbed Naruto and shook him violently, but not so much as to really hurt him. Yugito chuckled at the interaction as he yelled. You know the secret. Tell me now. You won't get a single D-rank mission in your life, just tell me right now. Ai begged. Naruto chuckled as he gave a big grin. Do you know the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu? Naruto asked him. Ai shook his head in a negative as Naruto sighed. That's the answer to your problems. I'll be more than happy to teach it to you, Gigi, Naruto told him. Ai sobbed with a thank you as Naruto laughed along with Yugito. Naruto and Yugito soon left the mansion with multiple Raikages doing paperwork. Naruto and Yugito walked along the dirt road to go home as Yugito turned to Naruto. I'm glad you're not leaving. I know you couldn't live without me, Naruto told her. Yugito slightly blushed, but waved it off. Maybe I would, Yugito said in a soft voice. Nibi's eyes gleamed as she found the time to intervene. That's right. Who would father your future kittens if you didn't have Naruto-kun? Damn it, Nibi, Yugito said with a strong blush across her face as the blondes continued to walk home. Naruto woke up from his bed and stretched himself awake. He had an exciting day yesterday, but for some reason the feeling of Naruto meeting his Gigi after a long month worried him a bit, but he didn't dwell on it long. While he slept, Naruto suddenly came up with a good idea for a Kaden jutsu of his own. He wasn't sure if it could work, but he sure as hell would make it work for himself. Alright, time to start the day. Gigi said we would have a mission later, so I guess I'll find out about this jutsu some more. Maybe I should get some books on more Kaden jutsu while I have the time, Naruto said to himself as he opened his closet then got dressed. Naruto wore a black jacket and red sleeveless shirt which hid his mesh shirt underneath. He then went to his pants and took out a pair of black jeans, and to finish, he put on his shinobi sandals. And last, but not least, were the two swords that Bi gave to Naruto. They became Naruto's greatest possessions and he absolutely loved them. He even decided to name them last night. Since they were twin swords, he felt they could complement each other along with his Raiden chakra. The one on the left was called Dragon's Claw and the one on the right was called Tiger's Fang. While the blonde got dressed, his tenant suddenly stirred around and whistled at his attire. Wow, Kit. You look quite sharp. You trying to impress the cat girl? Kyuubi asked, making Naruto blush at her words. Maybe somewhere in his mind, he was doing that, but he wasn't sure why. He did know that Yugito was precious to him, but he didn't know anything beyond that. Maybe it was a simple fondness for the woman. That's not the case, Kyuubi-chan. Now then, let's get started with the day, Naruto stated, making the vixen chuckle at him. Naruto left his room and made a sharp left around the corridor of the house and came into the kitchen to see Yugito at the table eating some food. Yugito spared a glance at the blonde while taking a particular look at his attire and hid a barely visible blush across her face before smiling and returning to her food. Good morning, Naruto-kun, Yugito said, causing the blonde male to smile and nod. Good morning, Yugito-chan. Say, Yugito-chan, I'm gonna stop at the library and get some books, Naruto said, piquing the Nibi Jinchuriki's interest. Oh, and what is that for? She asked with a sly grin. Cats were always the curious type after all. Nibi actually wanted to know also, but she didn't mind it too much. Sorry, Yugito-chan. It's a secret. I'll show you why when I'm done, Naruto said, making Yugito's curiosity rise. I wonder what he's planning that he can't tell me, Yugito thought, but left it alone even though she was dying to know. Naruto sat at the table and ate his food, also simply enjoying the taste of Yugito's cooking. Yugito, having eaten first, finished first and put her dishes in the sink. She had things to do and she had to prepare for the mission they would be given later that day. Alright, Naruto-kun. I'm gonna go and speak with Raikage-sama about something. I won't be back for some time, but I'll be back before the mission. Please clean the dishes since you're going to be home alone, Yugito uttered. Naruto nodded while finishing a bowl of rice and, out of the corner of his eye, watched Yugito leave the house. Naruto sat at the table for a while longer, then stood to his feet and placed his dishes in the sink. He made a cage bunshin to handle the dishes while he left the house also to go to the library. Kumo streets. Naruto entered the streets and saw the place bustling like usual, but it was a slower bustling than the normal. Maybe people were still sleeping or working. Whatever the case, Naruto simply enjoyed the sight of people around the village while he twirled a kunai in his hand. So kid, why are you going to the library? You don't strike me as the type who likes to read anything, Kyuubi implied, making Naruto twitch an eyebrow at the comment. Ya Kyuubi-chan. I can't stand books of any kind, but for my idea to work I need a book on jutsu theory, Naruto said, making the vixen raise an eyebrow, but she didn't comment. Naruto walked in silence towards the library during that time period. Kumo Library. Naruto entered the library and saw a middle-aged woman behind the receptionist counter. She was reading a book about some romance novel, but Naruto didn't dwell on it long. Excuse me, miss, Naruto called, breaking the woman out of her novel. She looked at Naruto with a small smile and placed her elbows on the table. Yes. Can I help you? She asked him. Naruto nodded and looked across the tons of books the library before turning back to the woman. Do you have a book on jutsu theory? I'm interested in creating my own jutsu and I would like to know how, Naruto replied, making the woman nod. She left the counter for a second and disappeared, leaving Naruto waiting for her to return. After about 6 minutes, the receptionist returned with 4 to 5 medium-sized books and placed them on the counter in front of Naruto. We have these 5 books for you if you're interested in jutsu theory, she said, pointing to each one and telling the title. This one is Creating Jutsu. Next is Jutsu Creation for Beginners. Then Jutsu Creation for Intermediate. After that it's Jutsu Creation for Experts. And last is Jutsu Theory Dynamics, she stated. Naruto winced at all the reading he would have to do, but he knew it was for the best. So how many of these books can I take from the library? Naruto asked her. The woman adopted a thinking pose for a second before smiling back at Naruto. Right now, we only allow each person 3 books at the max. There is no way around that. So tell me, which of these would you like? She asked. Take the Jutsu Theory Dynamics, Jutsu Creation for Beginners and Jutsu Creation for the Intermediate kit. The first one isn't really necessary and the one for experts is way down the road, so those 3 are the best for you, Kyuubi said, making her presence known. Naruto took her advice and took the 3 books from the library and walked back to the house for some practice and reading. Naruto quickly went into the kitchen and saw that the clone was finished washing the dishes and had dispelled already. Naruto then went into the living room and made 3 cage bunshins to read over the books while he went to go get some taijutsu in. Naruto's training was a lot higher than most, so he was used to it. Apparently B was away at some meeting, so he was all alone. Well, not completely alone. Come kit. Do the usual. Your kitten's not here, so I'll be supervising the training, Kyuubi barked, making the blonde sigh from having an abusive vixen, but he nonetheless complied with her demands and did the standard warm-up exercises. He ran around the house for about a half an hour, then did his push-ups and sit-ups for an hour. He worked on his chakra control before making some more clones to help develop his twin sword style and work on the jutsus that B and Yugito taught him. It would take him a few hours to recover from the strain, but he would be alright, he figured. With Yugito. Yugito had just gotten through her meeting with Reikage, with both discussing the terms of the mission along with B. Yugito wondered why she shouldn't have brought Naruto with them then, but Reikage told her it wasn't particularly necessary to bring him to the meeting. A told them that they would be going to Rice Country to deal in some foreign relations. Yugito would be the negotiator while Naruto and B were her bodyguards. Essentially, it wasn't this way, but a recent informant reported that some rebels were plotting against them, so it changed it to a shinobi doing the negotiations instead for better success. Yugito sighed at all the information while she walked through the corridors of the mansion. While she walked, her stomach suddenly grumbled and made Yugito blush from mild embarrassment. Might as well get something to eat and head home. I wonder what Naruto-kun is doing right now. Knowing him, he's probably thinking of you, Nibi interrupted. Yugito widened her eyes at those words and sighed, since she was too hungry to put up a fight against Nibi this time. Nibi in turn chuckled at her container for having such an impassive attitude when the woman was hungry. So Nibi decided to let up and allow Yugito the power to walk to her favorite restaurant, which served the best fish around. At the thought of fish and something cold to drink, Yugito shot off to the nearest place with good food only in her thoughts. Back at the house, 2 hours later. Naruto breathed heavily while his face dripped in sweat as he laid on the ground in exhaustion. It was windy, so it was very comforting to him. As Naruto slept on the ground, he suddenly widened his eyes when a rush of memories came into his head. Apparently Naruto just found out something about himself. If it interested him enough, he could finish a book in record time if he wanted to. Either that or the book for Jutsu Theory Dynamics wasn't that long. Well, that book was very interesting. Although I think I got a minor headache. I think I've got it all down though. It's not as difficult as I thought, Naruto confessed to himself before sitting on the ground. Kyuubi-chan, can you help me recall some of the memories so I can look at them again? Naruto asked. The vixen obliged and allowed Naruto to review his clone's memories from the past 2 hours. Okay. So first I should imagine the type of jutsu I want, which is obviously a Kaiden jutsu. Next I should work on a set amount of hand signs to mold the chakra into the nature I want. Last is the chakra control, an amount of chakra to put into the technique. That's pretty much the basics, Naruto observed. There are a number of other things to include in that, but those 3 steps are putting it simply. Here, come to the mindscape and I'll show you an example, Kyuubi insisted. Naruto nodded and concentrated on his mindscape, and before long he was in front of his favorite vixen. Alright Kyuubi-chan, I'm here. Naruto gulped while looking at a red-haired woman with illustrious curves and a dynamic body. Naruto was suddenly caught in a daze which made Kyuubi chuckle. Hello Earth to Kit. Are you alright? Kyuubi asked. Naruto broke from his stupor and pointed at Kyuubi. What's with that form, Kyuubi-chan? Naruto asked, making Kyuubi look over her body for a while. Something wrong with it. I figured this was the best form to show you the example, Kyuubi answered. Naruto stuttered for a bit, but sighed and just tried to deal with it. Alright then Kyuubi-chan. What was the example you want to show me? Naruto asked. Kyuubi nodded, getting back to the point, and constructed a target a few meters away from them. Alright Kit. First, like the book said, you must imagine what you want. Alright, I want a Kaiden jutsu. Next is thinking of various hand signs, however if it's fire it would help to have at least one tiger hand sign in the mix. Then put the final amounts of chakra and control into the technique, and lastly add your own unique name to the jutsu, Kyuubi said, thinking of a Kaiden jutsu, doing the hand signs and putting the required amounts of chakra and control into it. Kaiden. Kitsune Shukuga, fire release. Kitsune flame dance, Kyuubi yelled, firing several fox-looking fire shots at the target, destroying it in no time. Naruto widened his eyes at the destruction and turned to Kyuubi while the vixen explained. That's essentially what the book was telling you. Kinda stupid that it took 6 chapters of reading for those 3 simple concepts though, Kyuubi said, murmuring that last sentence. I get it. Thank you Kyuubi-chan, Naruto said, crashing into her and giving the woman a fierce hug. Kyuubi chuckled before and ruffled Naruto's hair slightly. Think nothing of it Kit, Kyuubi told him. Naruto nodded and left to practice what Kyuubi showed him while the vixen decided to go to sleep. Meanwhile, Naruto had just woken up and really felt like practicing. Kyuubi's explanation really helped him and he quick chose a spot away from the house to avoid any causalities. Alright, imagine my Kaiden jutsu, Naruto started while thinking it over what he saw in his dreams. Then make your own hand signs while keeping the image of your technique in your head, Naruto said, making some Kaiden hand signs, being sure to add the tiger seal into it for a good measure. Mold the amount of chakra in the stomach while emphasizing on control, Naruto finished as he took a breath of air. Kaiden. With Yugito. Yugito was walking home with a smile on her face and a full stomach. She had a very good meal and wanted to check up on Naruto before she got started with her own training. Boom. Yugito widened her eyes at the sound of a massive noise and noticed it was near her house. Yugito feared the worst and wondered if something happened to Naruto. Yugito applied chakra to her feet and dashed off towards the house while she grabbed a kunai in case of enemies. Naruto-kun, be okay. Please be okay, Yugito said before the house came into view. She didn't sense any enemies around, but then dashed for the door and slammed it open. Naruto-kun, Yugito yelled as she searched the house. She didn't find him, but then Nibi picked up his chakra signature a little further from the house. Yugito followed the signature and was brought to the presence of a crater along with a shirtless Naruto who appeared to be slightly charcoaled. Has he been training without me? Yugito wondered before Naruto turned to his blonde friend and smiled. I think I overdid it, Naruto said, not knowing that Yugito and Nibi were checking him out. Oh Kami, that kid is going to be a stud in the future. I can see it all, no kiddin'. The very next Kami. Though I wonder what he was doing out here. It must have been some rough training, Nibi said, observing the burnt landscape. Yugito nodded, wondering the same thing, but was secretly jealous. Have I been slacking? I've never trained that hard before. I can't let Naruto-kun outdo me. How would that make me look as the older person? Yugito thought while a small fire burning in her eyes. Nibi chuckled, now knowing that her container just found a rival even if she found it unconsciously. Naruto walked away from the scorched area, sheepishly rubbing the back of his head and laughing at his own embarrassment. Well, Yugito-chan, I'll see you back at the house. I'm gonna go eat and get a new shirt while I'm at it, Naruto said, walking off, leaving the blonde woman to her thoughts. Yugito turned to see Naruto's retreating form, suddenly gave a sly grin before looking at the scorched area. Nibi slightly shivered at her container's smile. Nibi, Yugito said, slightly making her container shudder. What is it, kitten? Nibi asked, wondering if she would even regret asking at all. Yugito's smile widened before the woman walked to a vacant area filled with rocks for targets. I think it's time I stepped up my training. I'll be damned if I lose to Naruto-kun, Yugito said, sharpening her claws and charging at the rocks around her. With Naruto made it back to the house and quickly replaced his ruined shirt and jacket with some new clothes. After that was over and done, Naruto had a quick lunch which consisted of some fish sandwich, some miso soup and a simple drink of water. Normally, he would eat more, but he wanted to save something if Yugito turned out to be hungry. After eating, Naruto laid his head on the couch while looking up at the ceiling. What did I do wrong? I know I followed everything right, Naruto said before hearing the laugh of his vixen friend. Well kid, other than using too much chakra and having no control used at all, that generally happens. Though don't get depressed. Creating your own jutsus is a trial and error process, Kyuubi said, still snickering, but tried her best to comfort Naruto. Naruto huffed some slight annoyance before jumping back to his feet. Alright, might as well get back to work. No rest for the weary or something like that, Naruto said, and made 10 cage buncheons to help him work. He, however, heard Yugito training and it made him smile that he couldn't resist leaving the clones to their work and go towards Yugito. Hey Yugito-chan, would you mind a sparring match? Naruto asked her. Yugito stopped her training and wiped some sweat from her brow. Sure Naruto-kun, but I won't go easy on you and I sure won't lose to you either, Yugito said with a smile. Naruto chuckled before talking out his dragon's claw and tiger's fang. Sorry Yugi-chan, but I'm gonna win and you're gonna eat dirt, Naruto said, charging at her. Yugito grinned and took out a kunai before charging at Naruto. Unless you eat it first, Naruto-kun, Yugito countered as the two clashed and sparred the day away. Kumo. 5 hours later. B came to the house to pick up Naruto and Yugito for their mission, but he didn't see them anyway. HMPH, where are those fools? Day. Gonna be late fo. Da. Mission. B rapped while Hachibi groaned, but didn't comment. B continued to search the house, but then sensed that they were outside and walked around for a bit. He suddenly came up to a banged up training area and saw Naruto and Yugito sleeping on the ground. Hey ya fools, wake up or da. Famous B-sama is gonna mess you up, B said, making Yugito and Naruto slowly open their eyes as they took in B's form. What were you fools doing? He asked. Both turned to each other and smiled. Training, they said simultaneously, making B smile. So who won? He asked. Both turned to each other and back to B before rolling their eyes. It was a tie. Can we go now? Yugito asked, jumping to her feet. Naruto did the same as the three Jinchuriki walked back to the house to get their mission over with. Alright, so we all know the mission? Yugito asked. Naruto nodded and so did B as they all headed for the door. All three walked through. Kumo made it to the gates before vanishing from the village. All three were excited and ran towards Rice Country. It would take about 2 to 3 days to get there so they could run into any kind of trouble in that time. Back in Konoha, life in the village was normal now. People still celebrated the demon's death, but it wasn't as frequent. However, the Konoha Council was a different matter. Recent news was brought to light from Jiraiya's travels and they were all in a panic. You found the Kyuubi brat. Where is he? We need to bring him back now. Sarutobi's old teammate, Kaharu said while slamming her hands on the table. Jiraiya rolled his eyes at her before turning to Sarutobi. Sarutobi-sensei, I would suggest that we leave Naruto alone. He's in Kumogakure if you must all know, and I must say it's a better place than here, Jiraiya spat, making everyone wince. Jiraiya, don't be a fool. Why didn't you take him? Kumo already has 2 Jinchuriki. Now they have 3. They are now probably the most powerful nation in the world. What's to stop them from going to war against us right now? Danzo yelled out. Jiraiya's ki flared at the man, but he tried to keep what little composure he was able to hold. Why should we bring that demon back? If he's gone, then so much the better for this village. Now we don't have to worry about being destroyed every night, a random civilian stated. Maybe if you don't realize it, but we just long a portion of our military power on that boy. Now Kumo has him and they are the most powerful nation in the world now. Damn it, Sarutobi, this is why I told you to let me train the boy. He would be a good asset to us and he wouldn't be gone, Danzo bellowed out. Sarutobi turned his gaze to Danzo and gritted his teeth. It was my understanding that Naruto-kun was taken from us by 2 of our shinobi. What could I do? It's not like I could keep tabs on Naruto-kun 24/7, Sarutobi shouted out. Enough. Sume, Hiashi, and Shikaku yelled. Everyone stopped and turned to the 3 clan heads quite shocked, but more Shikaku and Hiashi more than Sume. Naruto is gone. It's our fault no matter who did it. This village never appreciated him and we paid the price for it. If we get invaded and destroyed, we only have ourselves to blame, Shikaku reasoned. Are you insane, Shikaku? If anything, we should invade Kumo and take the brat back right now. Homura yelled. No, you will not. Naruto is happy in Kumo. They treat him better than we ever did. Surprisingly, as far as I know, he bears no resentment towards Konoha and just wishes to be a good shinobi for Kumo, and I for one want to honor his wish, Jiraiya said while Sume, Shibi, Shikaku, and Shuza nodded. He's our weapon. He should be with us. Not behind the greedy paws of the Raikage. Knowing that old fool he'll invade us in no time, Kaharu yelled. The civilian council felt so small in this argument. No one could say anything since they knew it was true, and this still felt it was the right thing that Naruto was gone. He isn't a weapon. He is a human just as much as you and me. He cries, smiles, laughs, gets angry, has fun, bleeds and lives the same as you and me. He is no different from us, but I'm wondering who the real demons are, Jiraiya scolded, shocking everyone. Suddenly Sarutobi spoke, bringing everyone's attention to him. Jiraiya, can I see Naruto-kun? Sarutobi asked. Jiraiya turned to his sensei and sighed while shrugging his shoulders. You'd have to take it up with Raikage, but I don't think there will be a problem if Naruto doesn't mind, Jiraiya admitted. Sarutobi gave a small smile and stood to his feet. I will leave for Kumo. I'm taking Jiraiya and Kakashi with me. This meeting is adjourned, Sarutobi said instantly before leaving the room. Everyone filed out, but Danzo scowled. I won't lose our weapon to Kumo. Sarutobi, you are an old fool and I must get him back. By force if I have to, Danzo said mentally before vanishing. With Naruto, Yugito and 2 days later. The 3 Jinchuriki had kept up their trek towards Rice Country and were making good time. During those 2 days, Naruto had been using some of the breaks to practice his just you and get it right, but it was still far from completion. He was able to get it to stop exploding in front of his face and was able to make a small fire escape from his mouth, but it still needed work. He would have asked Yugito for help, but he wanted to show her his own just you and hoped to surprise her with his abilities. Currently it was the end of the 2nd day and the sun was going down. Alright, we should stop here and rest or we won't be at our best, B said, making the 2 groan, but they complied and set up a fire. Naruto got the water and Yugito got the fish, but like always Naruto wandered off somewhere and so did Yugito, but both went in different directions. It all made B smile slightly at the urge for the 2 to get stronger, but Yugito never showed this much interest before Naruto came along. Lil 9 was able to inspire Yugi-chan. I knew it, she won't admit it, but Yugi-chan's got a soft spot for Lil 9, B said while smiling. With Naruto. Naruto cursed his progress with his just you, but he just couldn't get the control down. He hated not being able to do it, but he wasn't sure how to control the range of fire and keep it out long enough for him to use. It all frustrated the blonde so much. Come Kit. It's a process, I told you. Keep trying and you'll get it. All it takes is effort, concentration, and don't forget to breathe, Kyuubi said, making Naruto slump. Effort, concentrate, breathe. He was doing all those things, but he couldn't get it out in time. He just couldn't wait. Breathe. Separate breaths. Don't do it all in one blow. Naruto's eyes lit up like the stars in the night and the blonde could only smile. Kyuubi-chan, I could kiss you to death right now, Naruto yelled out, making Kyuubi blush wildly at his words. Thanks. What did I say though? Kyuubi wondered. Naruto looked at the vacant space and smiled as he closed his eyes. Image your jutsu. Mold the chakra with your hand signs while keeping the image burned into your mind. Bring the chakra to the center of your stomach and mold it into your required nature. Push the chakra towards your throat and, Naruto took a deep breath of air and opened his eyes fast. Exhale. Kaden. Hisatsu Kasai no Raiga, fire release. Liger's certain kill flame, Naruto yelled out, sending out the spiraling fire towards the trees, making them explode. Kyuubi widened her eyes at the jutsu while Yugito and B heard the explosion from far and wondered what it was. Yes, I got it down. Naruto yelled out, celebrating his new accomplishment and his first rightly owned jutsu.